All right, we should be live. Excellent connection, health. Why do you not have anything else better to do? Push-ups. You should be doing push-ups. That's why. Yeah, everything looks okay now.
There we are.
There. Finally. Good
Action,
God.
no.
Oh.
Why do you not have anything else better to do? Push-ups. You should be doing push-ups.
What?
All right. What's up, guys? Took us a minute.
Yeah, everything looks okay now.
Can you hear me, Chris? Everybody there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Let's get started then.
What's up, guys?
Do not try this at home. We definitely shouldn't be trying this anywhere. We are not trained professionals. So, where do we start at, everybody? I mean, there's a lot of shit to talk about right now. All right. Thanks, buddy. Let me see.
Hey, Saul. Hey, Push-Ups. Hey, Meg.
Oh, God. All right. I love this. I go through here because I get tired of watching porn, so I'll watch videos on YouTube. And,
All I do is watch YouTube.
Yeah. This is funny. You know how Charlie Kirk goes out to all these colleges? I'm assuming he's at a college on this one. This is pretty. The left is just, they're so screwed up in the head, and they love to tell everybody, oh, you guys are all uneducated, neither Republicans. Go fuck yourself. Just because you're in college, just because you're educated does not make you smarter. By no means. And this is living proof of that right here.
This college kid made an insane claim which made zero sense. But watch how Charlie Kirk's sharp response exposed her hypocrisy for everyone to see.
Let's say there's, a black kid right now. Would you rather have that black kid have a role model be Kendrick Lamar or Clarence Thomas?
Kendrick, obviously.
So not the black American on the United States Supreme Court.
No, he's trying to ban interracial marriage. He's trying to do all.
Wow, no, he's in an interracial marriage.
He literally
He's married to a white woman.
Yeah, I know the Roe v. Wade thing goes against.
He's trying to ban his own marriage.
Yes.
I thought I've
I'm
heard
sorry to break
everything.
it to you, but the Roe
Wait,
v.
hold on.
Wade.
So just to be clear, so you'd rather have Kendrick Lamar, who sleeps around with everything that moves,
who is a poet who won a Nobel
versus-
Prize, who.
Right, no, versus Clarence Thomas, who grew up in the antebellum South, who's a U.S. Supreme Court justice, and that's the difference, is that we as conservatives think that Clarence Thomas is a far better role model for black America than just some rapper.
This college kid made an...
Do you want me to read it?
Do what?
Do you want me to read it out loud? It wasn't playing.
What's that? What you got? I mean, you heard all that, right?
No, it wasn't. At least I didn't. I don't know if they did.
Did you guys hear that?
Again, it's a test stream. Bear with us. Figuring
Yeah.
all out all the little kinks and stuff.
Kendrick Lamar won a Nobel Prize. What the fuck? Okay, but since you didn't get it right, what basically happened is this ginger is making this insane claim. Shut up, R2. That Kendrick Lamar would be a better role model than Judge Clarence Thomas. They're comparing the two. And she's like, well, he's trying to do away with interracial marriage. You should see the look on Kirk's face. What? He's black. He's in an interracial marriage, people. And then she's like, oh, I hate to break it to you. Oh, I hate to break it to you, bitch. You need to march straight into the admissions office and demand your money back. And she brings up Roe versus Wade. It has nothing to do with interracial marriage. And that's just, God, it's times like this, I am so glad I did not go to college. Believe me, I actually tried. It just wasn't my thing. But I did really good for myself by not going. Went to a vocational school instead, and you'd be surprised, man. Man, our education system here in Oklahoma is like fucked. We're like low. I'm glad I graduated before all that shit happened, but it's sad with all this going on, and they're just not pushing those vocational schools like they used to. And there's a lot of employers out there that love the students from these places because they have more hands-on experience than book smarts. So
they have common sense usually.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Being more educated doesn't make you any smarter.
No. People with common sense tend to go into like a trade where you can use use your ability and figure shit out. You're not just told what to do. Like,
yeah,
big difference.
Yeah, really big difference. And I tried to go back to college when I got disabled, and because state's going to pay for it and everything. And I found I got that mental block where letters, numbers, formulas don't mix. I couldn't get past algebra. Just couldn't do it.
My nightmare. Yeah, I took it 4 times.
I just, it took them forever to drill it in my head, and as soon as they move on to the next part, bye-bye. I couldn't recall the shit. But, with what I did, sometimes I had to, I had to learn how to read binary and hexadecimal and stuff like that. And, there's formulas involved in that. And I was like, there's ways around all of that stuff. And you just have to know it. So, basically,
I just want to say, I'm super conscious of my hat head. I've been out like 3 times today wearing a toboggan, and I'm just super like self-conscious about how flat and gross my hair is. Sorry, Chris. If I play with my hair obsessively, guys, it's because I need to go wash it, and I'm sorry.
Okay, Chris, my audio is low. All right, can you hear me now? I'm clipping on here. How's that, Meg? Maybe you need a Q-tip. Maybe you're the problem. I love you guys. Okay? I really do, man. You guys are like a family. So, yeah, is that any better?
Meg, you're too sweet, dude.
Dude, you
haven't been around
see her
lately.
pic on Facebook. She's hot.
In a picture. You talking about my cover photo?
Yeah.
That's why I have so many haters, Chris.
Yeah, so what's up with that?
I have all these menopausal, middle-aged, mentally ill, obese women that they hate me for just existing.
Because you're hot. That's what the problem is. But what's been going on with that crap on Facebook? That's what I want to know. Because that's just... I mean, I think I've guessed a lot of it, but go ahead and tell us.
Apparently I get to go file a police report tomorrow.
Okay, over what?
Threatening my donkeys.
Whoa, wait. Say that one more time. What happened?
These fat bitches threatened donkeys. They were like, she's got some cute donkeys. It would sure be a shame if something happened. First of all, you don't know shit about donkeys. You're not going to get near my fucking donkey.
Bitch, I got an AR-15.
Like literally locked and loaded, but also they're donkeys. They don't trust people. My donkeys are not going to let some stranger walk up on them because some fatso wants to steal my mini donkey. So what happened was, everybody here knows that I'm a huge animal person. I admin and mod a bunch of groups on Facebook, and one of them was local.
Yeah.
And I live in a small-ass town of 2,000 hicks, bunch of idiots. I'm not from here. I went to a 5-star school. I graduated at 17. I went to college. Like, I'm not like, I have all my teeth. I'm not like these people. So ever since I moved down here, I've been a fucking target anyways.
Yeah.
The only friends I've made are people who are also transplants. But people want, like, they want to be my friend. Like, they want my help. You know, they kind of are drawn to me or whatever. They want to be my friend, and I keep them at a distance. And anyways, this chick asked me to help mod her new group. And so I have. And I've never met this chick. She posted last week a possum and raccoon hunt, a roundup, where the local hunters go and you pay money to get in, and you pay in a pot, and you go and you try to kill and hunt as many fucking raccoons and possums as you can. And not on my watch. So
that's kind of overkill.
Well, but here's the thing: it's not even for a good reason. It's not to like stop disease or whatever. It's because they're turkey hunters, and they want to stop the raccoons and the possums from eating the turkey eggs, so that these pieces of shit can then hunt the turkeys themselves this spring. It literally says save the turkeys. And the reason is so that they can eliminate their natural competition, so they can go get fucking turkeys this spring.
I mean, I grew up, did a lot of hunting and fishing and stuff, but that right there is just a little overkill on their part. I'm
not against hunting and fishing. I'm not. I love to fish. I've never been hunting, but I understand there is a time and a place. Like, I'm not one of those, I'm not a PETA person. I'm not irrational about it. Yeah. But if there's not a good fucking reason, like they do them for wolves and stuff around here too, which, that's dangerous. Wolves are dangerous. Anyways, I deleted the post that the admin herself posted, so I went over her head. Yeah. At that point, I said I'm not going to do good here. I deleted this. I don't agree with it.
Yeah.
She didn't realize it, I guess. It took her a few hours, and then she posted on her own page something along the lines of, "You can't tell me what to do. I'll do whatever I want." Like,
I do what I want.
Clearly directed towards me. So I just commented as coolly as I could, like, I refuse to participate in this atrociousness, period. And I deleted her as a friend, and I couldn't unmod myself because I wasn't an admin, okay? The only way I could have gotten out of that group is to block the group, which I didn't do. But I kept getting my notifications and shit, and I was like, why does she still have me as a mod? Like, when's she going to remove me? So I just ignored all the notifications. I called DNR on the people. The DNR guy said he'd be there to make sure everybody was licensed and legal.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I can fucking do, right? No big deal, whatever. He gives me his personal number. I now have a contact with DNR. He thanked me, and it was a good conversation. I didn't think twice about it. I was like, it's out of my hands. I've done everything I can do.
Yeah.
That was on Wednesday. That was a week ago. The hunt happened over the weekend. I have no clue what happened. No idea. Monday afternoon, one of the hunters from that group started lighting up my Facebook page with laugh emojis. So I was like, oh, somebody must have had a bad weekend. Did I ruin your plans? At the same time, I'm scrolling. I click off my notifications. I scroll through Facebook, and I see this. Her name is Michelle, saying that she has removed the moderator due to, like, inappropriate behavior and threatening people in the group. I've never fucking threatened anybody in my life.
Oh, I have.
So I screenshotted it.
Yeah.
And then right after that, she's like, can anybody help me be a moderator who could possibly remain impartial? That's fine. That was an appropriate request. Trying to fucking bash me and claim that I was threatening people to save face 6 days later because your dumbass just figured out I deleted you and I haven't been participating. So to save face, she fucking lied. That has now started an entire avalanche of shit.
Yeah, I
Because
saw that.
the same chick, she and I were supposed to do a charity for the community. I was excited. I was like, cool. Like I've always wanted to do that. And with a group foundation, we had that ability. And she supposedly has done it before. So I'm like, hey, like, let me know what I can do when we're going to be a part of this. And she was like, oh, he acted all excited about it. Nothing. I just offered assistance multiple times. She's like, I got it. And then she's like, well, maybe I can use your help during drop off, LOL. And now I was going to help people. Like I was going to help a couple families myself. But she was so secretive about the whole thing. Like it weirded me out. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to help a couple people that I actually know. I'm not going to just hand her, because she wanted to literally, I didn't get to nothing about the family. I just got like demographic, and then I had to give her the stuff.
Yeah.
And then she would take it. And I'm like, that's not how the Christmas tree stuff work, like whatever. It was all fishy. So I just kind of backed off and, donated to 2 people on my own. Well, once a friend of mine here, who's also highly intuitive, saw Michelle dragging my good name, her little spidey senses went off.
Yeah.
And I was like, I even defended this chick to certain people. Like I've defended her to the community because I thought she was a good person. And so my friends started doing, because my friend's from here. Both of these ladies have lived here their whole life. I don't know them. They know each other. Yeah. So my other friend starts investigating the one girl and's like, did anybody thank Michelle for Christmas help? Like tons of people were asking for assistance, but there was no, recognition. There was no gratitude. There was no, I wouldn't have had Christmas if it wasn't for Michelle. Like there was no nothing. Yeah. So my friend does some digging. Long story short, she discovered that the only people that Michelle helped were Michelle's friends and family. So she suckered the entire community into donating for families that she handpicked herself who were close to her.
What's that?
While
I can't hear you. God.
Exactly. While denying people for bullshit reasons. One, because their kid didn't live with them. One, because they lived on the county line. One, because there was people voicing up like, yes, I tried to ask for help and she wouldn't. She denied me. So my friend then was like, okay, this isn't a witch hunt, but can anybody say that they got help from Michelle? Like, it's super weird, that there's just a gap here. And it's like, there's like 3 people that came forward. Yeah. And all 3 of them were related to Michelle. Like, one of them was her best friend's mom. Like, again, these people live here. They know the people. I don't. Yeah. So she tied it all together, figured it all out, reported back to me. So now this chick tried to smear my good name, and now the entire community, well, the intelligent ones, have figured out that there's zero transparency here, and she's like, and it's crooked, and this chick is a scammer, and she scammed the entire county. So that part happened, but now it continues.
That's enough of this shit. Keep going.
Yeah, R2D2 has distracted me. So my friend is a badass. She is. I'm gonna call her Winter. Winter is a badass. Like, she's kind of a lot like me in a bulldog fight. And I mean, I'm the fact that she has defended me to this nth degree, because she runs a Facebook group too. So she is now like literally there's over 500 comments on this thread now. Yeah. About Michelle. And a lot of them are defending her, and those people are the low intelligent, high emotional, ignorant, gullible people who, whatever, small mind, small town, unfortunately. My friend Winter, she's not like these people. And so anyway, so she figured all this out. And so now someone was attacking her on Facebook. Yeah. So of course now I'm gonna have to defend my friend, who's defended me for 2 fucking days and 500 comments and crossed multiple Facebook groups for really, she didn't have to do any of that. But she knows I'm a good fucking person, and for her to fucking try to smear me, she was like, I'm not gonna let it happen. So now these middle-aged, menopausal, bitter bitches were talking shit to my friend. And I was like, hey, I can send you, like, how about instead of worrying about her, you worry about them ball sack eye bags you got. I was like, I can send you some Avon skincare. Like, you don't need to worry about her, you need to worry about yourself.
And a Brillo pad.
So then that pissed her off because, again, you saw my cover photo. Like, nobody, like, whatever, it is. And I'm not bragging on myself.
Well, it
I'm
sounds
saying
like
that
people in their seat,
bitches.
oh, you got a pretty mouth.
But, like, I get haters literally by doing nothing, you know what I mean? And yes, my inbox is equally creepy dudes and pissed off women. It's hilarious. It's dudes hitting on me and women hating on me. Even Steven. So anyway, so now this chick is like, it's literally high school, but it's like, all right. So then she looks on my page and finds out that I have donkeys. Plus she's using my real name. I'm like, okay, big fucking deal, weirdo, you know, like my real name's not a fucking secret, but the reason I use an alias is because of weirdos like you. So,
like me?
Her friend jumps in on it, and because I was kind of being a little bit of a bitch about it, just dogging her ball sack eye bags. Her name is Becky Flick. Ball sack eye bag Becky. So her friend jumped in and she was like, you better back off or else. And I was like, or else what? The elderly Golden Girls of Owen County are going to join up and come after me? And so she was like, her friend then replied, oh yeah, she's got a couple cute donkeys. Sure would be a shame if something happened. And
that's too far.
Put a bunch of, and I was like, is that a threat?
That's grounds for ass kicking right there.
Absolutely.
We don't need another peanut situation.
Trust, I'm not even worried at all. But again, these bitches are too fat to like walk across the fucking house. They're not coming to my house in 15-degree weather with a foot of snow on the ground right now. Like, God. If they do, again, I got the 22 waiting on them. Like, please do, I'm bored. And I'll fucking hear them coming. So anyway, so then I just looked at this chick's profile and it says, and like, she's trying to intimidate me, that like, oh, you need to be worried. And so I clicked on her profile and it says that she works at the neighboring county's, sheriff's office. And she's got a cop car on her profile pic. Okay. I called that fucking sheriff off and like, hey, is Jessica there? And they're like, Jessica. I'm like, yeah, Jessica Townsend. And the lady's like, I don't know who that is. And I was like, well, I'm beefing with her on Facebook right now, and she's making threats against my livestock. She's trying to intimidate me, and it says that she works for you guys. So I was just trying to talk to like her manager or somebody before I, went to my sheriff's office. And so she like put me on hold for a while, and she's like, ma'am, we have no idea who that is. And she's like, they looked her up. They looked on the Facebook. They're like, we see her. We see that, like, we don't know who this is. And she was like, you need to go ahead and deal with your county. It's like, okay. Again, I'm not really afraid. I'm not that worried about it. But you're not going to fucking intimidate me either. Like, so, and I had wrote back something like, I was like, I'm not the one that needs to be concerned. And she was like, yeah, you are. And I was like, I'm not the one implying threats publicly against someone's livestock. And then I was like, I saw who your employer was. I really don't think they're going to appreciate this. Blocked me. Well, not before I got all those fucking screenshots.
There you go.
So anyways, like, I didn't, whatever, all over me trying to save some fucking raccoons.
God. Wow, I saw that on Facebook too, and I'm like,
and I'll do it all again tomorrow.
Out of it, because I'm one of those kinds of people that, ooh, there's a fire. Let's go throw some gas on it.
Well,
No.
I'm really sad that nobody sent me a shit stirring spoon for Christmas.
I don't. I've seen those posts. I don't think they make one big enough. You might need a really big shovel or a backhoe or something for that crap.
But I
Wow.
mean, like, honestly, yeah. So again, it's high school shit, and it's
Yeah.
ridiculous. And then I'm getting inbox with people that are like, thank you for, sticking up for your values and, not backing down. And I'm like, yeah, fuck that. Like,
Yeah. There's a
you
lot of
guys
people
don't
now
know
that
me.
are
That's
just totally missing out on that values department, and I mean, it's expected from the left. I mean, they think they're more educated, and they're supposed to be the kind, gentle, accepting ones, and then they'll turn around and, oh, you're all garbage, bullshit. But the fires right now in L.A. and stuff. Yeah, I see so much crap on that. And they're cutting down hard on that fire chief. She's like LGBT. She's a DEI hire. Now, this DEI hiring shit, I don't. These airlines that do it, there's no way in hell I'll get on one of those planes. But right now, with all that shit going on, just shut the fuck up, because there's more important shit going on with that right now. Just deal with it after this is passed. People are losing their homes. Things have had a couple of fatalities.
one thing after another, though. The
The
North
DEI
Carolina,
shit needs to stop. Yes, but right now,
but
man,
we're having a disaster after disaster after disaster.
yeah. End of days, I guess. I just, man, shit's crazy. And whatever happened with all the crap from North Carolina? Because I mean, I know around Christmas time, it wasn't looking too good for a lot of them. But then the drones come through, and then boop, that disappears.
I keep up on it. I watch a
Yeah.
lot of independent reporters on YouTube. Like Nick
Yeah.
Shirley is one of them, and Nick
Uh-huh.
Johnson's the other one. That my dog just knocked over part of my titty, but that probably looked funny. They are the people they've had to move, they've had to leave. There's a few tough people that have that they're like, fuck you, I will rebuild my land. But the cadaver dogs died.
Ooh, damn.
That the cadaver dogs died after being in that area. So like the people that are choosing to still stay there, I don't think it's like the right choice, honestly. But at the same time, they're fucking right. You know what I mean? And I don't blame them at all. But there's so much toxicity now
Oh God, yeah.
that like I don't understand how you could be comfortable wanting to keep your family there. So
Yeah.
but no, they're intense. Like these people are just intense. It showed these two little old ladies that were sisters, and they both, their house got destroyed, and people had donated, like camper trailers, and that's what they live in now. They're just next to each other. They each have one, and it's just flat land. I mean,
think I know who
it's
you're
sad.
talking about, yeah.
It's so sad, and
that's all that DEI shit too. I remember during the first of Biden's administration, when we had that hurricane come through there, Kamala was trying to push that equity bullshit. We need to go in there and help these people first, because they've had a rough life. Fuck you, bitch. I am so glad she is not going to be the next president. Because, I mean,
yeah, we did it.
that whole equity and equality shit is just knocking on commies' door right there. You're getting so damn close. And I'm so sick of that shit. You can't even have a good discussion about these assholes going, do you even understand what socialism is? Oh, fuck you. Don't be starting that shit with me. Hell no.
Don't you love it when somebody half your age thinks they know more than you?
It's like that. I just mentioned that the other day. People who think they know everything really annoy those of us who do. I'm going to play a quick video here.
Yeah, I gotta open my door real quick.
And
with this
I
dog.
know what
She's whining.
happened with that stuff now, but why you couldn't see it. So let me fix that real quick.
Give me a second.
And display capture.
Go on.
Huh, yeah, you should have seen it. What the hell? Desktop. These. Okay, screw it. You guys can see the videos out there. Let me see. Where did I put this one? Oh, yeah, funny shit. Monday. Funny shit. This is pretty wild. This is from 1969, and it explains a lot of this shit that's going on right now.
A book that I think ought to be in every home library. It's entitled Color, Communism, and Common Sense by Manning Johnson. Manning Johnson was a Negro, and he was also a member of the Communist Party. He joined the party as a young man because he honestly believed that the communists were trying to improve the conditions of his people. He was a dedicated communist. But after many years, Manning Johnson finally came to the realization that the communists weren't the least bit interested in improving the conditions of the Negro people. He discovered that instead they were merely planning to use his people, and these are his words, to use them as cannon fodder in a bloody revolution to destroy America. As early as 1928, the communists declared that the racial differences among our people constituted the weakest and most vulnerable point in our social fabric. By constantly probing and straining at this one spot, they calculated that eventually the cloth could be torn apart and that Americans could be divided, weakened, and perhaps even set against each other in open combat. We must not be led into placing the blame for the riots, the civil disorders, on the Negro people of our nation. Even those few who are promoting hatred and violence in the black communities are not themselves the cause. They're merely being used by forces far bigger than they are to promote the violent phase of the revolution in America. Hoping to avoid further violence and bloodshed, the public is to be pressured into accepting measures that will move the country gradually and legally toward communism, but without calling it that. The strategy of the proletarian revolution calls for the quiet conversion of our government into a communist regime, but under the banner of socialism. The new program of the Communist Party on this subject has this to say. The term socialism describes but the first stage of a new society that in its full development is called communism. Socialism is a transitional stage. The building of socialism is the communist revolution in America. It represents the process whereby our country can be moved gradually toward communism without the people even being aware of it. They have one and only one solution for all problems: more government, and then more and more until it's total government. Total government is communism. We must not be fooled into thinking that the causes of our civil turmoil are such things as poverty, poor housing, lack of education, and similar social or economic factors. As a matter of fact, most of today's self-styled revolutionaries, black and white, come from good homes, could earn better than average incomes if they wanted to work. And in fact, they're products of some of the finest institutions of higher learning. We mustn't resort to violence either as a means of furthering political or social goals. And we must do everything humanly possible to discourage others from doing so. We must support our local police. Nothing can be quite so damaging to police morale and efficiency as converting every arrest into a trial of the policeman instead of the criminal. Now, in passing, ladies and gentlemen, you may have wondered why the Communist Party has been a staunch supporter of the drive to place a black studies curriculum into our high schools and colleges. Well, the reason becomes obvious the minute you take a look at the textbooks and the study guides. Under the guise of academic balance, These courses have become a brilliant device for conditioning young people to accept still one more part of the total program for revolution. We must discover the identity of those individuals, both above and below, who consciously are furthering the communist program for revolution. And
So yeah, he's a dangerous kind of guy, but he does make a good point with that shit that's been going on. Black Lives Matter and all that crap. And that's the thing with the seems like that's been like the big thing with the left there. They've been doing this shit for years. They cater to, you know, all these little groups just to get their votes, and they don't give a fuck about anybody. They really don't. I tell you what, I'm play one more
camera.
You know what you said you couldn't hear, but the audio was coming back through on your through your end on there. I was watching.
I couldn't hear it, but I played it on my iPad and I could hear it.
Okay, we'll play one more video right here because this is just awesome.
Sorry guys, I'm mauled by a dog. Tara, stop.
I got to find it real quick. What do you guys think about this shit with Zuckerberg? We'll have to talk
I said
about
I could testify. I was heavily fucking profiled, targeted, censored. I was constantly in Facebook jail.
Oh,
like
I was
for dumb
too.
shit.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden I'm not ever. Like I haven't been in like a year. It's like, well, what changed? I didn't fucking change.
I got thrown in Facebook jail once. So I commented on somebody's meme that was about something about, you know, a 2,000-year-old death cult, and I replied back with you know, something that came off of Facebook, and that was, oh, hit him with a brick. Boop, there I went. I'm like, God, there was like no, just as soon as I hit the button, it's like they were waiting on me to say something. It's, what the fuck?
No, I swear it's like I had my own guy just sitting there waiting, and they're like, "Oh, she hasn't fucked up in a few months. We gotta hit her." Like I would share stuff from Facebook, and I would get hit with it. It's like how the fuck? I got it from your site. But I do a lot of quote medical misinformation. That's my big one, because I've got all kinds of like hippie books, like anti-wax stuff that like, so I mean I'm constantly posting truth, but it's the truth they don't want. So anyways.
All right, does anybody know who Katie Fanning is? Anybody? I sure as hell don't. Apparently, you know, with all this shit going on, you know, they over in the UK, they've lost a lot of their rights. You know, they've let all the illegals in, and they pretty much have taken over. But Katie Fanning was talking about, I guess, some protesters or something, and she went scorched earth on these assholes. Let's check this out real quick.
0.3% in Britain were foreign. People is unacceptable or should be seen as offensive to other people. We have a right to our exclusive identity, our home, history, heritage, culture, and to exist as a peoples. Nobody has the right to take that from us. The people who are trying to take that from us are the extremists, in my opinion.
And I don't think that feels at all like exclusive or kind of contradictory with this lovely man could make a home here, because he's a gift.
How do we explain to 1 million white children that have been raped in racially and religiously motivated crimes by people of his community? How is my community supposed to reconcile the fact that they opened up their doors, gave refuge to people that said, please, guys, come here for a better life, and then what do? rape, rob, extort, terrorize, and kill our people, and you expect us not to be angry about that?
Yes, I recognise none of that in this lovely man, and in most.
But it is coming from his community against mine, and it's racially and religiously motivated by foreign peoples that have come into our country from our gratitude and kindness.
Rape is not an exclusively Asian thing. There are white folks who.
Yes, there are white men that rape. There are rapists of all things. The difference is that this is a racially and religiously motivated act of genocide that is targeted against our people to cause our peoples harm. In the Genocide Convention, it specifically states B means causing physical and mental harm to members of a specific group. So you're not going to argue with me that gang raping children is not going to cause them serious physical and mental harm. And the difference is there's been 1 million white children, 1 million white kids in the last few decades that have been raped by Muslim Pakistani men. It is targeted, and our community have a right to be angry. If it was any other country and any other peoples, they'd be burning down the homes and trimming you out the country. But because white people are so tolerant, so far all
Here it comes.
we've done is demos, but that will come to an end, and I assure you. And we don't involve ourselves in gratuitous violence and terrorism. We're white people. We desolate continents, we wipe out civilizations, and we start world wars. So far we've been tolerant, but you wait until that tolerance is gone. When the Anglo-Saxon no longer will to tolerate the rape, robbing and extortion and theft of our identity. What's going to happen
from Germany or from Britain? They were originally Jutes and Saxons or Angles from Germany.
The Anglo-Saxons are a mix of the Celts and the Saxons, all North and Western European white race people. We have no genetic difference in our composition. Europeans are all one brotherhood. Before that, there wasn't any black, browns or Asians or anything else living in Britain. In fact, in the 1950s, it was less than 0.3% in Britain were foreign.
Syria, so what was Europe then? But even the definition, even the concept of Europe, Europa, Europea, was different 1,000 years ago.
That's enough of that shit. But what do you guys think about that?
Pretty dead on.
Yeah, and I hope they chill out before that happens. But yeah, it seems like yeah, she might be going that way one of these days if they don't knock the crap off. But it seems like after even during the election, it's starting to seem like that's the deal with all this crap. People are just getting sick of it. They're making up excuses why Kamala lost and all this. I'm like, you guys have voted for her. You're the reason why she lost, because everybody is sick of you assholes. The way you talk about everybody. The way you sit there and talk. All these damn ticktards in their videos and all the shut the fuck up. Everybody's just getting so sick of it. And are we frozen up or something? A Palestinian headscarf. I know, right? Oh, God. I hope I'm not going to have to shut this down and restart it, because the damn thing is acting up on my end.
I can see you fine, but
I can't, oh, wait a second. I started this through, here. I'm going to have to restart OBS, more than likely. Try it one more time, wait for the program to respond. There we go. Sweet. There. Did you miss us? There. Everything should be working.
I don't see you. Oh, there we go.
Okay. I don't know what's going on with that crap tonight. Okay, we rolling. Keep rolling. I got that song stuck in my head. I don't know why, because, I have a catchy tune, but Limp Bizkit is just absolutely horrible. God.
It's not 1998 anymore.
I know, right? Oh, hell. We were talking about baseball ago. Here's my baby. Some of the military games I play and stuff, I go by Iceman, and it's not because of Al Kilmer, it's because I played the Ibanez Iceman Beast. This thing is a fucking beast. And then I also got a 5-string sitting right here next to me. It's my babies. Oh. Who's Sam's here? Holy shit. What's up? Oh. Squeeze your...
Hi, Sam.
What the fuck? All right, so we were talking about medical stuff earlier. Where'd we end with that?
Do what? I
We're
don't remember. I have
talking
ADHD.
Oh God, not another.
Mine's clinical. I was one of the first people to get put on Ritalin or whatever back in 1993.
Yeah.
And
isn't ADHD
I didn't like it.
Yeah, isn't that like one of the most misdiagnosed?
Yeah, but I was one of the people that literally like I'm twirling my hair, tapping my pencil, and bouncing my foot all the time.
Yeah.
And like to the point where like my friends can't sit on a couch with me because I'm just bouncing my leg. And like they'd slap it down, and I would just try to not do it, but it's just
Yeah.
So, anyways, they tried to drug me, and it didn't work, and I sold it on the school bus, and then I've been raw dogging life ever since. So, but it's like a bartender and a waitress. It was a perfect job. Like I could like multitask, and then also like doing like my psychic readings and stuff, and like palm readings and all that shit. Like I have to have the split mind to be able to read, to like connect both sides. So it actually ended up being a perfect tool for me later in life. It was just hell when I was younger, but yeah, I've learned to work with it now. But still, you can't count on me to remember shit. I do have a bit of a photographic memory, but it works when it wants to. It's getting a little old, but yeah, I'm a big nerd. I love learning, like love reading. I'm one of those like useless information people. And Push-Ups was commenting earlier about me helping fix you. I just now learned what Chris had like half an hour ago. Give me a minute.
Yeah. What's funny is that the year that it happened, I don't want to go into this too far. With what happened, but I was working for a school district here in Oklahoma, and school districts just like hospitals, this shit is floating around everywhere. Well, I caught a viral meningitis, and God, that was horrible. It was painful, and it hurts to breathe, it hurts to sneeze, it hurts to sleep, it hurts to stay awake, and my neck was just so damn sore. I remember going to the emergency room, and they brought out that big long needle.
Give you a spinal tap.
Yep. And they got me on the table, got me in the field position. It's like, this is going to be very uncomfortable. And I hate to say it, they put the needle in. It felt so good because I could feel the pressure coming right off.
Damn.
But fast forward about anywhere from 5 to 6 months after that, I was having some problems walking. I'd 20, 30 feet, and legs start to shake, and legs try to buckle. And ended up going to the emergency room. They were like, sent me home. A couple more days, it was down to like 10 to 15 feet. And then it got down to just a few feet, and I would buckle and fall. And I was in the emergency room 3 times. And the 3rd time, the guy was like, yeah, there's definitely something wrong here. No shit. And yeah, he called a neurologist, and luckily his very first appointment the very next day canceled. And they got me in there, and I got in there. I was in his office for maybe 5 minutes. He's like, go down there, go to the elevator, go to this floor, go across the catwalk, and down the elevator to the bumper to admissions, and you need to get in the hospital now.
Yeah, divine intervention.
Yeah. I was diagnosed first with that, was it the Guillain-Barré syndrome or whatever?
Yeah, Guillain-Barré, yeah.
Guillain-Barré. I've heard it called different things. It's weird.
Me too.
And yeah, I don't know why they changed it to transverse myelitis. I mean, it's a very rare disease. Like I was saying, the original Slipknot drummer, Joey, he had a mild form of it for a while there. So, yeah, that was me. Yeah, go ahead.
If I recall, when you first came on the Keanu scene, didn't you thought you had a tumor?
Oh, did I think I had a tumor? No, I do have a tumor.
You
Um,
do.
yeah, I guess you weren't around when I told everybody. Oh my God, that doctor's appointment was funny. I love fucking with doctors because I was like, I named him Tim, Tim the tumor. So
Okay, that's what I thought, but I haven't heard anything since then. So I'm sorry about that.
We're not going to do anything with it. We're just going to monitor it for now. It's not cancerous, and they said, it's probably not going to be a big deal. But if we have to cut it out, we cut it out. And I'm just like, well, do I get to take him home? Because I kind of grown. He's kind of grown on me. And then yeah.
I brought it up because one of my abilities, and you guys can think I'm insane, but I can scan people, and I do medical readings on people, and I wasn't getting that you need that you had a cancerous tumor or whatever. That's why I was asking what happened with that, because when you originally mentioned it, I didn't feel like it was going to be malignant or anything. So just wanted to check that off, that you're in the clear with that. So okay,
I'm in the clear with that. But with the transverse myelitis, last time I had an MRI and a CAT scan, they were able to tell, there's some scarring on my spinal cord down there. And I'm like, it's that's right where the needle went in. So that could have caused it. Now
that's what I was.
Yeah.
So, but that they're not worried about that pushing and putting pressure or anything?
There's sometimes it does feel a little uncomfortable right now, but we're just gonna see what happens, and I'll be going back in a few months, and they'll look at it again, see, make sure it's not doing anything. But like I said, I love fucking with the doctors. When the transverse myelitis, and I spent a month in the hospital.
I missed something. Can you say it again?
Shut up, Alexa. Talk back to me like that. Spent a month in the hospital, so you're going to go see a shrink. That's just anybody that's going to be in the hospital for that long. Hey, you're up walking fine, then all of a sudden you're in a wheelchair. So, yeah, they send everybody to a shrink for that when that happens. So, they will be in there, and I guess he had a student in there shadowing. They're both writing stuff down and crap like that. This was 97 people. And the start of the session, they're like, we're going to give you three words. And at the end of the session, we're just going to see if you remember them, nothing big. So now, for the life of me, since 97, Apple Table Penny has been permanently fucking embedded in my skull. Oh, my God.
What's the date, Mr. Thompson? Who's the president?
They're like, did you have any problems, paying attention? I'm like... They paused for a little. They're jotting some stuff down. I'm like, no, let me hurt the nice people. They looked at me like, holy shit, what the fuck? Are you on meds? I ain't telling. Not mine. But yeah,
being in a hospital for a month, that would be rough.
Yeah, I was married with 3 kids too, and got tossed out like garbage. But in the long run, I don't know. I went back to school, tried to go back to college, ended up going to technical school, and just really did really well. Until it got to the point, I just couldn't do it. I mean, I'm disabled, and I'm sitting there. I had to drive. I would work circles around people doing with what I did. And so tell me more about the psychic abilities stuff you got. I am very interested. Not to put you on the spotlight, you can tell me to shut the fuck up. I don't mind. I hear it all the time.
No, it's fine because I mean it is a big part of my personality. It's just
Yeah.
things have changed so much in the past few years. Like, well, I'll just start from the beginning. Like, I've always had abilities. I've always been like into ghosts.
Yes.
I've always been into the paranormal. Like, I've always seen things. When I was little, I was scared to death to go up to the bathroom upstairs. I would make my little sister go with me. And that house was built in 1880, and it's like, and we were right there in Indianapolis, right where the Underground Railroad was. So I'm not saying for sure, but there's a huge likelihood that there was some fucking ghosts in that fucking house. When I was like a baby, like just like a month old, we're talking 1980. So they had like my dad and mom had like an old video recorder, just audio, you know, a tape. And I was a happy baby. I was born laughing. So I've always been like a happy, smiley baby. And my grandma was coming to visit, and they recorded me laughing. Like, they were just tickling me and playing with me, and they were just hippie parents. Yeah. And all of a sudden, my whole demeanor changed. I stopped laughing, and I just got real sullen. And like, I just, my whole mood changed. So they went ahead and stopped the tape and put me to bed, you know. And then later, my grandma came over, and my dad, because my dad's a tech nerd. I think that's why. He had probably just bought this recorder. But anyway, so he went and they played the tape for my grandma. And right before I stopped laughing, there's like a muffled voice that says, "That's all you'll laugh for the time being." And my dad still has that tape. So, and I feel that thing has followed me kind of forever. I don't feel like it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I've always just had an awareness of things. We have a haunted house here in Indy called the Hannah House, which was a part of it was a part of the Underground Railroad. And it's literally one of the most popular haunted houses in the country.
And like Railroad was how Maxine Waters got into Washington and Congress. That's sorry, but yeah, keep going. I've heard of that place.
Yeah, so when I was just little, I think I was 7 or 8. My older cousin and his girlfriend, they took us through because you can do tours.
Yeah.
And I was scared shitless. Like, I wasn't old enough or aware enough to know what was going on, but like we went into certain rooms, and like on the one room, like my throat like closed up. Like, I just started like having physical reactions in different areas. And then the tour guide would then start talking and say, "Yes, this is one of the rooms with XYZ activity," or, you know, "This is one of the areas." So that freaked me the fuck out, because I was like I'm now in a haunted house, and I'm feeling before they say what I'm going to feel, you know, or what other people have felt.
Yeah.
So
you're really in tune with everything then.
Hypersensitive. Yeah, it sucks.
Okay,
Hey, can you try, like, I can't see you on my phone. I can see you on my iPad, but up here I can't see you. So it's like I'm talking to myself, so I can't see your reactions or anything. I don't know. I don't want to mess anything up, but like, it shows like your camera's off to me for some reason.
Okay, let me get right on that.
But I mean, I can keep talking. But
yeah, go ahead.
So I just like, I've always been I've just always been sensitive and aware. And then I had a dream one day of one of my, like, I was like 13 or 14, and there we go. Thank you. Now I can see you. This was in the 90s, and I had a friend named Olivia, and they were poor. They were very poor. And back then, a lot of people didn't have phones. Like, not everybody had a house phone, especially in a trailer park or in a bad area. You use your neighbor's phone.
Yeah.
So when my friend Olivia moved away, I didn't have a way to contact her.
Yeah.
They would come and drive through the neighborhood, like, on payday, or like once a month. They would come through on a Friday night, see everybody. anyways, I had a dream that my friend Olivia, I was in a hospital and I was standing over her hospital bed and she had those oxygen tubes in her nose
Yeah.
and she was just in a hospital bed. And so anyway, so they come to visit, and now Olivia also, she was not allowed to, like, she was boy crazy. So she was not allowed to be on people's phones. Like, she was not allowed. Her mom had to know whenever Olivia was on the phone because she didn't trust her. So anyway, so I'm like, hey, like I had this dream that you were in the hospital and like you had the thing up your nose and everything.
Yeah.
And her mom, because they were all in the car. Like, again, this was a trailer park. It was like everybody's hanging out and talking. You know, there's people on either side of the car. There's people sitting on the back of the car. So there's multiple conversations going on. It's like a Friday at like 7 and whatever. So I'm talking to my friend and I tell her that, and her mom whips around and she was like, Livia, when were you on the phone? And Libby was like, I wasn't, Mom. And I was like, she didn't. Like, I've not seen her talk to you guys. I was like, I had a dream. And they made me explain in more detail. And I was like, I just had a dream. She was in the hospital. And her mom turned to me and she goes, well, then you're the goddamn devil. Because Olivia had been in the hospital with like a really, really bad kidney infection or UTI or whatever. But like she had been in the hospital. And I had no way of knowing that. But Pearl, her mom, did not believe at first that she had to have told me. And then when she finally realized, no, nobody told me, then I was the devil because I had a dream that my friend was in the hospital when she was really in the hospital. So at 14 years old, I kind of packed that away because I was like, I don't want to, like, it freaked me out. You know, I was like, I don't want to be the devil or whatever. Like, you know, it freaked me out. So I kind of put it away and I didn't really, but I was into astrology. You couldn't take that away from me. I've been obsessed with astrology since I was 13. And I would
turn me on to that stuff too. So I've always been interested in it, but I've never really gotten too deep. But I mean, I've read stuff. I'm like, oh wow, yeah, that sounds like me.
Yeah, no, and the fact that it's a personality science, and have had so much literal experience with it that nobody will ever be able to tell me that it's not valid. It's literally like a mathematical language that then creates the blueprint of you as a person. And actually, I owe people readings. I'm supposed to read for Meg and Sam, but it's like homework. It's like forcing me to sit down and like do a report. So it's really hard, but I love to do it, and I want to do it for my friends, and I can do it. It's just a matter of pinning me down and being like, bitch, do this. And because then I'll just scroll through and do something else, or I'll go in to start doing it, and then I get distracted with something else, and then I'm like, fuck, sorry. But anyways, personality science that really helped me figure out people. Like, I already was hypersensitive, and I could kind of, you know, get a good vibe of a person, but to the point where even at like 15 years old, I could be like, he's a Leo, she's a Scorpio, because I could just see how they moved and how they walked and how they talked. And then my friends would be like, you know, they had a new boyfriend and they'd be like, oh my God, he's a Scorpio and I'm an Aquarius. Like, what does that mean? Okay. So I was always the one with like the books and like, you know, doing the compatibility reports. And I was always the go-to of like my friends and my circle and all that, of like anything occult or like anything paranormal. I've always been into abnormal psychology. I think that's a better.
I love that stuff. I'd love that game I've been playing here recently that makes me sit there and scream like a little girl, demonologist. I probably why I'm so into that. And I'd love to get into paranormal research. The problem is, like, I was talking to somebody on their channel, and he refers to these people as the top 5, and I think some of them used to have shows on, like, I think it's the Travel Channel that was showing all that paranormal stuff. And on YouTube, they're the top 5, and they've got shitloads of followers and these videos. And before I met this guy, I'm sitting there watching these videos, I'm like, I'd love to get in this, but I can tell you right now that one of these days, these assholes that are treating this paranormal shit like it's a fucking frat party, they're going to fuck around and find out one of these days when they find the real thing. And it's not going to, who goes into something that's really haunted and there's demons in there too, and they're going to stay tonight, and she lost some bets, so she gets handcuffed to this bar thing and stays the night in that room by herself. Oh, fuck. You guys are just, one of these days, you guys are going to fuck up, and it's not going to be pretty. And the way they act about this shit, too, it's just like, you guys are fucking stupid. Okay, here's a really famous haunted house. Let's bring a Ouija board there. We're going to do this blood sacrifice. Oh, my God. Who in their fucking right mind would go do something like that? I mean, you're just asking to get ass raped by the devil, you know? And I do believe this. I've got a really big religious background. And the Bible talks about all that stuff in it, you know, even though a lot of religions don't like to talk about it. But, hey, it's right there in front of your faces, okay? So, you know, I've had my little run-ins with little minor things here and there. So, yeah, I'm a firm believer, and I've been down a few rabbit holes. And what's funny, I've been down the right rabbit holes. Now, I believe in UFOs, but that's what they are. Unidentified flying objects. Doesn't necessarily mean they're from Mars or something like that. But I went down the right rabbit holes, and I found out all of it's connected. And that there are supposed aliens. There's not a lot of information, but what I could find out there, it's not good. If they ever did.
You know about the RH negative blood?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Okay, would you think that I am or I am not?
Oh. You could be. Are you?
I have the rarest blood there is, yeah. I have the Jesus's blood, supposedly, that was found on the Shroud of Turin.
It's Jesus.
But yeah. No, I have the bloodline, the rare bloodline and everything, and I'm the RH negative. So yeah, that's why I say I'm part alien, because I don't have the Reese's, the monkey, I forget what it is, but yeah, I don't have that. I'm the weirdo that has a question mark at the end. They don't know where I came from. So I lend my abilities to that.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome. I like that. I would say
and a Ouija board.
Yeah.
I've got plenty of Ouija board stories for you, and I will never touch a Ouija board again.
I've got one. I've taken it out of the box once. I didn't fuck with it, so it's been in the box ever since. I haven't, you know,
you can draw a Ouija board. You don't need a Ouija board.
Stuff, but I don't know enough about it, and I know where it could go to, and I'm not going to fuck with it unless I know what I'm doing, and I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm not fucking with it.
I talked to Elvis on the Ouija board in 1994, and I'm dead serious because this is one of my little claims to fame, and this is where you'll think I'm crazy or not. But 1994, MTV, Kurt Loder, MTV News, it would pop up like every hour, the little globe, you know what I'm talking about, Kurt Loder, and he would pop up and say the news over the weekend or whatever. It wasn't usually the weekend, but anyway, Kurt Loder would pop up and do a little news blip. And my girlfriend at the time, her family went to Goodwill and they bought a Ouija board. And I was 14 and a dumbass, and I didn't know any better. And this Ouija board was so legit. It would tell us she had 8 brothers and sisters, and they had Kool-Aid all the time. And we would sit back in her bedroom and we would just ask the Ouija board what flavor of Kool-Aid was in the fridge instead of going to check. And it was accurate every time. So, and we were young and dumb. We would be like, what color underwear is Mindy wearing? And it would say pink with ruffles. I'm dead. I mean, we're 13, 14 years old. And it would say like pink with ruffles, and it would be right.
Wow.
It would say it would tell us like somebody's on the way. Like, it was the most legit scary shit ever. But we thought it was cool at the time. And her mom was a huge Elvis fan, and she had all the tacky velvet Elvis the pictures
the
and
pictures. Wow.
Yes, and like the little music boxes. Like, there was Elvis paraphernalia everywhere in her house. And I love Elvis too. Like my grandma was a big Elvis fan. She was at his last concert in Indy. I have a tie to Elvis. And we were like asking like, who can we talk to? And so I was like, Elvis. I'm like, where's Elvis? What's Elvis up to? And it said that he was in Paris for a wedding. And we're like, okay, which meant absolutely nothing to us at the time. Until like the next day, MTV, Kurt Loder popped up and said that Lisa Marie Presley had married Michael Jackson over in Paris, France over the weekend.
Oh yeah.
How the fuck? Like, come on. Like, and so that I was 14 years old. You can look it up. I'm pretty sure it's in 1994. Like, you can find the details. Like, this was all craziness. So at that point in time, me and my friend were like, this is a little bit questionable at this point, you know, like this thing is real. So I've got like a few more stories I'll save.
Okay.
For that Ouija board. It scared the shit out of us. Things got physical with that Ouija board. Like it got crazy. So I will never touch a Ouija board in my life. You don't even have to buy them. You can take a piece of paper and write out the letters. You can use anything as a planchette. Like we experimented a lot, and I will never do that again. But I will absolutely like warn people all the time. And I'm not one of those like Christian, no against that, but I'm not like a religious person that's like, don't use a Ouija board. No, I'm used it. I've been there.
I don't claim to be a very good one, but that was my claim to fame. I got a big religious background. I know a lot of that stuff. And I went to a private Christian school, and they started having detention on Saturdays because of me. The really funny part was they stopped having detention on Saturdays because of me. So, yeah, I'm with you on all that stuff, though, man. I've just,
It freaks me out. So, like, my life is full of crazy experiences, like miracles, unbelievable events, like literally shit that it's like, you're crazy. And it's like, I got a witness. You know, like you can call me crazy, but I promise, like, there's no reason for. So, like, when you ask me, like, it's hard for me now to like talk about myself or like meet anybody new because I don't know like how far is too far of like, okay, she's a fucking crazy person, you know, like,
not really.
Or it's like, it was my experience. You can call me crazy if you want, you know, but I've been tested. So.
Grandpappy always said anything that bleeds for a week and doesn't die is evil. No. But I would.
Well, and ironically, I was a mental health professional for a while. Like, I have a degree in health and human services, a mental health specialist. And at 24 years old, I was the youngest branch manager of the largest and oldest mental health association in the whole country.
Yeah.
So at like 24, I was this little professional go-getter working in mental health, and I was a Democrat.
Yeah.
So to be where I am now, it's like I've
saw
seen a lot,
light.
I've experienced a lot. Yeah, literally. Yeah. I used to go to the mental health symposiums and stuff. Like, I was very, very into it. And I just checked in on my old company, Mental Health America. And one of their biggest pushes this year is to make sure that people have access to Suboxone.
What's that?
The fuck? Suboxone is a opiate alternative. People that are on like pills or whatever, Suboxone is like, it's like methadone.
Okay, yeah,
but
I
for
saw that post.
Opiate.
You posted something on Facebook about that today, didn't you? Or something.
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah.
So many people. It's because I'm really sad about it, because Suboxone is just legal drugs. It's just a legal fucking high.
It's methadone, and let's fix their drug problem with more drugs. That's just
more drugs. And I have a lot of friends who have done drugs at different points in time. Like
I'm on drugs.
Well, I'm talking about some bad drugs, and so they're on Suboxone now, and they're 40 years old, and their teeth are shrinking and falling out because of the Suboxone.
Wow.
And it's just, and like my friend was like almost crying to me. She's like, "Do you see my teeth?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude." Like, she's like, "It's the Suboxone." And so when I saw that the mental health company is pushing more access for Suboxone, is just like, how that's big pharma. That's not mental health.
Yeah.
So it's all crooked. And like it saddened
is.
me that the company that I put so much time, effort, passion into in my 20s, it's like, here's some drugs.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, though, back to the whole Ouija board thing, though. What a lot of people don't understand is you don't know when you make contact, you don't know who you're contacting. And they're not going to, if it's somebody.
Chances are it's not a good one.
Yeah.
Chances are it's not a good one.
Same thing with a boy. Wow. I've got stories, too. Same thing with a portation. You know what that is, right?
What?
I think it's called a portation. It's where you bring something in from the other side. And
oh, okay.
And usually, some people that claim that little bump thing will pop up and shit like that. It's like a jewel or something like that. Some supposedly from God or something. And I'm like, no, you don't know where that comes from, and you don't know if there's anything attached to it. That's what you got to worry about. So.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. The friend from earlier, Olivia, that her mom, that whole experience, she, like, it was like about a year later, she was over and we were playing with it, and there was a weird, I don't want to say she became possessed, but yeah, it was like something came through and went into her for a while, and we could visually see her physically change. Her posture changed. Everything about her changed. And it lasted like 15, 20 minutes and then it went away. But like, it was literally, like you said, something from, and it's like, why Olivia? Like, she was like the most open to it, or the most vulnerable. I don't know. But it was again, a very weird experience for like a 15-year-old to be messing with that shit. And you don't know who it is. Like,
yeah. Well, here's what.
Finding out the Kool-Aid was cool, but possessing my friend is not okay.
Yeah. Well, after the whole disability thing and stuff and the divorce, excuse me, I went down to Texas, lived with my sister for a little bit, and this is how I know about some of this stuff. I had an aunt here. I didn't know too much about her and stuff, but she was involved in a cult called the Aquarian Foundation. And she was coming down to Dallas for a church. Now they're into the whole psychic, and the psychic healing shit and all that stuff. And I look at it this way: you're going to go to church and they're going to charge you money for be a member. That's not much of a church right there. But she asked us if we wanted to go with her, and yeah, sure, let's do it for shits and giggles here. That was a weird experience, because we get there and we go in there and you can feel a very strong vibration. And there's she display cases of like jewels and weird things that Reverend Keith Milton Reinhardt had apported through this. Goes into this little trance thing, and they got a video him. Spewing out some ectoplasm, and it formed a person, and I don't know. All that shit can be faked, though. But during this church service, he's dead. He's been long gone, thank God. But during this church service, the guy renting the place was like, I don't know why it hit me like it did, but I'm like, whoa. He's not in charge here. He's just a fucking meat puppet.
Vessel, yeah.
But whoever is in charge, like you tell, they're very close by. Now, come to find out that there's another cult, a bigger cult, that's been around forever, and there's a lot of other cults that are tied into this bigger one, and I believe it's called the Great White Brotherhood or something like that, and it's not racist or anything. And I found this out, and I was diving into it. I was reading enough about him. Guess who used to be a member? Aleister Crowley. I was like, oh, this just keeps getting better by the minute here with this crap. So, but what I didn't like, I went off the grid for a while, and I was staying with somebody, and they got a flyer in the mail from the Aquarium Foundation addressed to me, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, and then later on, my aunt died, and I kind of take the shit a little personal because, it was diabetes, and, she lost a leg, and she went to the hospital, and these idiots are like, no, it's a little mental, psychic healing shit. So, yeah, I got a little grudge against these assholes. So, that's my ties to that shit.
There's
oh, yeah.
There's magic, there's miracles, there's dark arts, there's light arts, there's healing, there's light workers.
Yeah.
There's such a spectrum. And, so Meg, I'll try to answer a couple questions. Like, Meg, asked down here, shouldn't ask, but
yeah,
she nailed it. I try not to invite anything in. Enough dark shit is always trying to attach itself to me. Absolutely. And you need to learn, I can tell you or help you, to help kind of learn some protective things or, kind of bubble yourself or, the awareness of it. Because I've experienced psychic attacks plenty. I mean, I think I'm honestly going through one right now with all this drama.
From what? I mean, I've
good versus evil, clearly, because
yeah. I bumped into a couple of energy vampires in my day, so I know. They exist.
Oh, absolutely. I literally, you could give me a topic, any topic, and I could give you a story about it, probably, that relates to it.
Hell, you guys are all family here. You and Push-Ups and Sam and Isabel, you guys are all family. Speak up. I'll get you guys on this show at one point in time. Just wait and watch. I'll do it.
What are they saying? Yeah, absolutely.
So anyway,
Sam asked about if I need to hone it in or practice the skills. So it's literally, I was born with it, but I can make it better. It's any skill
needs to be
because
honed.
I can tuck it away, I can hide it, but it's if I go into, I can be completely not even paying attention, but if I walk into a dark energy area, or if I walk into somewhere where bad shit has happened, or, I walk into a room where there's dense dark energy, I know it instantly without even, I don't have to scan for it. It smacks me in the fucking face.
It's when I went into that church
we're not going here.
That vibration, it was really freaking strong. It was freaky. So,
I feel it in my throat. I'll literally feel like I'm choked. And whenever it's like something standing on my throat. And whenever I get that feeling, I know there's energy around that is not right. And when I was about 22, my boyfriend at the time, we went over to his buddy's house to pick up some smoke or whatever. And he was an older dude, a veteran, a nice guy. But the entire time I was at his house, I just felt miserable. I felt panic. I felt anxiety. I was like, we got to get out of here. But I was being polite because it was his friend. We went to visit and everything. But the entire time I was crawling out of my skin. And we get back into the truck, and he knew I had sensitivities and abilities. In fact, he helped me work on them. He helped me build my psychic ability. And he was like, "What's wrong?" And I was like, what happened in that house? And he's like, "What do you mean?" And he tried, and I was like, something fucked up happened in that house. And he's like, "There was a murder there." He was like, "He killed somebody in that house." And I was just like, why the fuck would you take me in there? And it was like a home invasion thing. He had shot somebody. They died in the house. But it's I felt that so hard. And but again, that was me, a learning experience, because it was something was there, but I couldn't tell you what it was. I wasn't that dialed in to know somebody was shot here in a home invasion or whatever. It was something is wrong. So I took kind of that, the knowing, and then adding on the experience and being like, okay, you check, you know what that feels like now. So, and then that's when I just know, this is a bad person, this is a good person, whatever. And of course I'm fooled, and I'm a positive person, so I don't think negative. I give everybody the benefit of the doubt usually. So I've been gullible. I mean, I'm not 100%, you know what I mean? People get through me too. So, and usually they are spiritual demons.
I've got a lot of shit about my whole outlook on stuff, and I'm so negative, and Yeah, good friend you are sitting there bailing on me just because she gets stuff. I'm neither negative or positive. I try to look at things, on middle ground here. But trying to remember what the term was for it. You got your optimists, pessimists, and you got the people in the middle. And we do tend to lean more negatively. But here's the thing about that. When the shit hits the fan, we're usually the ones that are able to jump in there and just take charge and, deal with it.
Oh, yeah.
The whole positive people, they'll fall apart real quick in situations like that. I've seen it happen.
I have been the first responder in many situations where everyone just stood there. Little things like my sister's wedding, the best man passed out, fell over, flat on his face during the service. I'm the only one that ran over to help the poor guy. I've been in bars, it's on video. It's the funniest fucking video. This guy just waving back and forth, and then he finally collapses, and everybody's just like, "Oh my god!" And then you see me run over in my dress and start tending to him. But I've been at bars where people, they had a heart attack. It was a Sunday afternoon. It was a softball team, and they weren't even my table, but my intuition, you need to go over here. And I walked over to talk to this lady, and I'm like, "Do you need anything?" And she's like, "I think you need to call 911. I think my husband's having a heart attack." Yeah. And I was like, "Okay." And I went over to the bar because the bartender was like, she knew I wasn't supposed to be over there. It wasn't my section. Yeah. She's like, "What's going on?" I was like, "He's having a heart attack. We need to call 911. So they do. I had a couple of 2 80-year-old couples, 4 people in a booth that were in their 80s. I ran over to them. They saw what was happening. They were like, "Do you need an aspirin?" And I was like, "Yeah, if you got this guy's having a heart attack, And the other bartender, who was in nursing school, was like, "You can't give that to him." I said, "Are you kidding me?" She's like, "We can get sued if you give that to him." I looked at the little old lady, and she's like, "You want me to give it to him?" I was like, "Whatever. Somebody get him this fucking aspirin." Yeah. So it's the one person who was in nursing school, who should have been the first responder, who should have been the one to try to help this poor guy, was the one trying to stop me from getting him an aspirin. Yeah. What the fuck is that? You know what I mean? So yeah, it's and people, they don't know how to react. They don't. Everybody just stood there. Not me. I'm gonna jump in and I'm gonna grab this and grab that, and we're gonna get you okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm grateful for that fight or flight response.
I thrived on high stress situations. I loved it. But so without having to dive into it too much, my birthdays. What can you tell me? Tell me something about me that I don't know. My birthday is January 22nd. I'm an Aquarius. So what about an Aquarius?
Okay, that's why we get along.
Oh, okay.
So I love Aquarius. One of my oldest best friends is an Aquarius. Aquarius are the aliens. They don't think like other people. Always felt like an outcast. Quirky, very kind, very considerate.
Fuck you. Keep going. You're right. Yeah.
You're an air sign, so you're fun. You think a lot. You can be the life of the party. You can be the only person that recognizes someone, for their birthday or something. You're the one that's going to go the extra mile. You're the one that's going to make sure they have gas money or whatever it is. Aquariuses are great people. You can be super manic, super hyper, and you can be super depressed.
I was
it's a spectrum.
diagnosed years ago as bipolar, and
that's Aquarius. They're not.
We're not. Yeah. So my therapist, years after that, we bumped into each other at a bar in Norman, Oklahoma one night, and she's like, "Hey, I want to talk to you." She pulled me outside. She's like, "I worked for him. I wasn't supposed to say anything like this, but you are not bipolar. It's like you just have events happen in your life that would drive anybody to that peak, and events that happen that would just knock you down really hard. That happen to anybody.
You feel things.
Yeah. So,
Yep.
but
No, I love Aquarius.
Aw, I love you too. So about
Well, like if you saw on Chrissy, like Scarlett, I don't know if you saw, but Scarlett, that's been on Simpcast a few times.
I
She's like
saw that
everywhere. She's
last
crazy.
deal with
She's an Aquarius. I called it out the first time she was on. I was like, this is Aquarian energy. This isn't like insanity. She's an Aquarius. And then Lila picked up on it too because we found out she was an Aquarius. And so then last time Lila was like, she's just an Aquarius. And it's just when you're kind of unbalanced. She's not balanced. I mean, she's got some shit to work on.
Yeah.
But that she's going to be like that her entire life. Or the erraticness. Like Aquarius can be very erratic, off the wall. You don't know which way you're going to turn. But I don't have hardly anything bad to say about an Aquarius. So stubborn. You guys can be super stubborn.
The hell we are.
But it's funny because you guys will also be the ones to then try to mend things.
Yeah, I will with certain people. I've learned over the years, though, that's one of those things. Is some people it's just better to just turn away and just walk away. It sucks sometimes.
But when you know it's like, hey, I need to, you can make that decision though, like that's not worth it, or hey, that is a worthwhile friendship that we need to like work on or whatnot.
I heard we're also
and you guys are usually
go ahead.
Sentimental. You guys could be really sentimental, like writing notes, gifts, like making something personal. So
yeah, how are we with? I heard we're pretty good with the tech stuff too, right?
You can be very inventive, yes, because you're ruled by the Uranus. Uranus rules you, and that's that has to do with like technical innovation, new ideas, new ways to do things. It's very inventive. So and you were saying, you're a technical person.
Very technical.
So you kind of jumping in here on this.
I've got a really good skill set. Like I was in telecommunications, and big, several story building. They got this cable that, things are starting to change now. They have that cable coming in. It's a 250 pair cable. That means there's 500 wires in that thing. All of them are different colors. I can tell you exactly where each and every one of them goes. So, and it's so simple. And I actually taught up at Canadian Valley Technical Center for a while in this field, and it was one I loved it, and I had to learn. Hey, I need to slow down when I'm trying to teach people this shit. So it was I did really well in that field. It did a lot of good for me. Made a lot of money, but then they'll just I worked as long as I could, and then I had to shut it all down. It sucks because you said you're on disability too, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I have a rare genetic connective tissue disorder, which again, alien. And I'm just bendy. Like I have joint hypermobility really bad. So I used to like sprain my ankle every year. And you would think after like the 10th fucking time, the doctor would be like, why do you keep spraining your ankle? It's because I had very weak ankles and my joints, my range of motion is way more than it should. Every contortionist has what I have.
Wow.
So like I could be a contortionist, but I just don't have it to that degree. But I'm very bendy, I'm very flexible, stretchy. I've never broken a bone because I'll dislocate something instead.
Wow, why did my mind just shoot off into the gutter?
All the dirty stuff. Yeah, no, I'm very, it's not a bad thing in a lot of ways. Like when I was younger, I could like I did really good backspin on shooting like basketball because my hands were hypermobile, and like I could carry like 10 glasses at a time when I was like bartending. And then I was really strong too. But when
I was going through vocational rehab, my hand and eye coordination.
Voc rehab, I used to work for them.
Yeah, but now with the transverse myelitis, you got a 2-year recovery window. Where you're at is usually where you're going to stay. And I probably recovered about 85% 98%, maybe 90. I can't run. Sometimes I'm like a walking safety hazard. And what's really bad is because of this, all my leg muscles and shit, they're overactive.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if I'm walking, if
Okay.
I, like, like when you trip and fall, it's kind of like a natural reaction. You throw your foot out in front of you, just stop yourself. No, mine will tighten up and just like that straight. It's like a catapult effect. And when that happens, I've either got to grab onto something really quick or just try to fall down as quickly as possible so it doesn't get any worse. So, yeah, God, I hate it. So that's me.
But we've got, I can't really run either, but it's because my left ankle, because I did sprain it throughout my life, like walking downstairs. I've sprained it dancing. I've sprained this ankle to the point where now it's chronically unstable. It's like chronic joint instability. So 6 years ago, I broke this foot from tibia to toe. Every single bone in my foot was fractured from walking on it.
Oh, God. Damn.
And I managed with no boot, no nothing, because the dumbass doctors, because back like 15 years ago, I got diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. I've beat that. I've changed it with my diet.
Really?
That's a whole nother thing. Yeah. I was bedridden with rheumatoid arthritis when I was 33. I could not, from bartending to bedridden and then back to bartending.
Yeah.
So I am stubborn as fuck. You're not going to tell me. But anyways, the RAs looked at me and found out that I have the genetic condition, because one day, and I've told this story like in chat.
Yeah. I was
I was there.
Yeah.
Yep. 6 years ago, I was there. The doctor who finally figured out, she x-rayed both of my feet, and she finally, after 3 years, 8 different doctors, nobody could tell me why my foot wasn't healing. It was the size of a softball. My ankle was just swollen. God. I couldn't put any pressure on it. Nobody could tell me why. And they just said, it's your RA. Motherfucker, it's not my RA. My RA is cleared up. This is something else wrong. Finally, a orthopedic foot surgeon.
Yeah.
She x-rayed both feet, and she's the one that discovered the hairline fractures from tibia to toe. She was like, I don't know how you're walking. She's like, you should be in a wheelchair at this point.
Wow.
And she's like, you got to get off your foot. But she discovered what was wrong so then I could fix it. And so it's taken me 6 years to be able to heal that foot to the point where then I could walk, to the point where I could put weight on it. And then now it's the point where I can walk pretty much normal. I still can't run. I could take off in a sprint maybe, but my foot also might just completely dislocate and I'll be on the ground like you.
Yeah.
So I get it. I literally get it.
When you're young and grandma and grandpa are like, oh, storms are coming. Oh, that shit is real. When you get old, Dad, you know when the weather's changing. You're better than a meteorologist does. So
the barometric pressure is real.
Oh God, yeah. And what's funny about that, winter weather is the hardest weather to predict. So it's crazy. Now, you said you know a lot about mental health, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So I was a mental health professional. That's what I went to school for. Was mental health specialist.
That seems what little I know about it.
Certified mental health professional.
Yeah. It seems like the whole mental health thing is like a crapshoot sometimes. Like
it's bullshit.
It is. They got to find the right medication or the right combination of medicines and dosages, and it's only going to work for so long and stuff like that, and they're going to be right back in there doing it all over again. It's the impression I got with it. But
I worked more on the job coach side. Like, I worked for the Mental Health America, and I went to college for it, but I wasn't like treating patients. I was working with people who were disabled. Actually, I was a job coach.
That's cool.
And I loved it. And I was there, and I did intake and assessment. So you said Voc Rehab. I worked with Voc Rehab. Like, they would send us our clients, and then I would do the intake and assessment and figure out like what kind of job they could do, what they're good at, and then I would pass them off to different employment consultants. And then I was also an employment consultant. So, and this was in my 20s. So then now to be disabled in my 40s when I was working with the disabled in my 20s is just, it's crazy that I now am in where it's
That's pretty
it's a
cool.
mind fuck, really.
Yeah.
But it's like, so I've always been a helper, you know what I mean? And like
Yeah, I mean, back in
I
high,
can't
high
help
school,
but help people.
I went to one of those little country towns that, you know, if you weren't on the football team, they didn't want you around. And I went to the field house one day, just walked around, and they had the special ed kids out there working, you know, trying to work them for Special Olympics that was coming up. And, you know, none of the coaches and shit, they're not going to stoop to that. And I stepped in and helped them out with this shit. And, you know, it was a pretty cool experience. I had a lot of fun with it.
I loved it. I was single at the time. I was 20. Well, my boss, I wanted to adopt my clients. I wanted to save the world. I had 2 clients that they were like being abused at home. Ooh. And I was like, I had a spare bedroom. Yeah. And I was like, I could just adopt both of them. They could share a room. They can live in Franklin. They can be in a good home. And my boss was like, you cannot save everybody. She was like, you need a family of your own. Like, she's like, your heart's in the right place. She's like, but it's almost your heart's like too big to be in this field because you can't save everybody. And that literally is why I ended up quitting and then going into bartending. But before that, I did a lot of good for people. And like, I created and facilitated the only schizophrenic and bipolar anonymous support group in 5 counties. 2 Tuesdays a month, I would sit there and hold these meetings, and it was so fucking cool. It was so cool to talk to these people and hear their stories.
And not on my end, it wasn't.
People would get irate, and it could get kind of crazy in there, but it was such a need, and it was crazy that a 24-year-old in fucking Franklin, Indiana was the one that had to do it. And because I was in college at the time, learning how to do that, like that was literally what I was going to school for. So I was like, I'll apply what I just learned, and I created that group. And then I also created a once a month, we did a dance for all like the autism kids and all the kids with disabilities, that they would come in and we'd have a party for them, and we'd have music and cake and we would try to get them to like kind of like meet each other and try to make friends, and I did that all off the clock, you know what I mean? It was all just because I wanted to do it. So
well,
it's a shame that it went to the way it went with like billing and money, and everybody then became a number. And it became so stressful that I got out of it, and I was like, you're right, I can't save the world. And
that's what I learned with it too.
I did what I could.
Yeah, because I learned if you know, you're around some people with mental disorder, if you don't know much about stuff, take the high road and get your ass out of it quickly. I haven't dated in like 8 or 9 years. I haven't been with anybody, and just that last relationship was just too much. She had a daughter. I think when we first started dating, her daughter was 10 years old, already addicted to Pornhub.
Oh God!
She would sit there, on her phone and stuff like that all the time. Her dad was a violent felon, and that shit got crazy as fuck right there. But she also had Hashimoto's, and I can't remember exactly what they were saying was wrong. There was some bipolar high spectrum thing. From somebody that doesn't know shit about that, if I had to take a stab at it, I would call her a paranoid schizophrenic with a multiple personality disorder. That's how bad things
It can be
got.
dangerous.
It was. I lost my vehicle in the whole mess. You can't put a price on safety, and she had one personality. Brittany. Brittany was very fucking dangerous. She had like a little schoolgirl personality. Then there's Brittany. She had like a slut personality. She had a couple more too. And there's it just like I said, her dad got out of prison, and they'd never met stuff, and next thing you know, she's wanting to fuck him and have his baby. We couldn't get through to her. Doctors, therapists, people at her church and stuff. They were Catholic. Nobody could get through to her. It'd be like she's like, huh? Like a fucking deer in the headlights look. And yeah, that was just. I'm so happy to be out of it. I should have, got out of it sooner than what I did. I'm like, I'm trying to take the high road here, but no. It kind of felt like her diagnosis was one of those things, that changes over the years, so it doesn't seem so bad. Like got shell shock, and now it's PTSD and stuff like that. That's what it really seemed like they were doing with her. And she got when she was in high school, so she went to high school at the hospital. I'll put it to you that way. That's where she went to school at. That was just freaking nuts. Yeah. And I remember one day, she had the girlfriend had to go somewhere to do something, and I'm like, I watched this kid. No, you guys sleep in, you wake up, just go take her to her grandmother. So I'm like, okay. And I remember there's like this much room between the bed and the wall. The bed was kind of high. I wake up and she's just standing there, and I'm like, I was like being really still, like looking, like, okay, I don't see anything in her hands, so I ain't got to stab it. And I'm like, oh shit, like, okay, I'm covered up. That's a good thing. So then I finally talked to her. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Nothing. I'm like, oh God. I come to find out she does that she was doing that quite a bit. We didn't even know it. I mean, there's times, we'd be up late at night and bedroom door shut, and she'd like get up and go to the bathroom, and it's a wooden floor, and she'd come out of the bathroom and you wouldn't hear her going back to her room, and you're like, what the fuck's going on? But yeah, she was batshit crazy. I'll put it to you that way. It was just too much. So I'm glad.
I had one of my best friends. I have a best friend. I mean, we're not close anymore. We grew up together. She had psychotic breaks.
Damn.
She ended up stabbing her boyfriend like 50 fucking times.
Oh, damn.
No, he didn't. He was a nice guy, and she was having she was like fucked up, and she stabbed this poor guy like a bunch, to the point where he fell down the stairs, because their room was like upstairs. They lived with her mom. This poor guy falls down the stairs, just bloody mess. Her mom like calls the ambulance and stuff, and like he lived, thankfully. But like when I talked to her after, she's like, he deserved it. I was like, no, he didn't, dude. I was like, are you kidding? Like, I've not been willingly in her presence ever since then.
Yeah.
Because are you fucking kidding me? Like, it's not like she was like, oh my God, I had a psychotic break. She was like, he deserved it. All right, well, I'm just going to go ahead and leave now. And I don't think we're going to be really close friends anymore. Oh, so, and it was, she was one of those that she did meth for a long time. She did a lot of drugs. She was one of those that in the teenage years, she would just do anything. She was a Pisces. They're usually the druggies. They're the ones that have the biggest problems usually, are the Pisces. And she just fell into it hook, line, and sinker. But yeah, so it was hard to cut that. I mean, we've been friends since we were like 8 years old. And, at like 35 or whatever, I had to be like, you're legitimately psycho. And I'm not going to have you around my kid anymore.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's your first priority right
there.
She
was, the last time she was at my house, she was trying to teach my son how to roast marshmallows with a lighter in the back bedroom that had carpet.
Oh, my God.
And that's not like what normally my friends would be like. Like, this is when she had lost her fucking mind. And I was like, no, Crystal, we're not doing this anymore. So, but you got to be careful, I mean, yes, psychosis is real.
It is. It's very real. So, okay, another video real quick, because I promised these people I would do this. And let me find it real quick. Pipe down, Meg. Nobody wants to talk to you. If I could ever find the damn thing here.
Would you turn and face the screen?
Oh, they did not. I got a cat around here somewhere named Pooter, and he's an asshole. Let me see here. Where the hell did I put this?
Yeah. I lost it.
Okay, I know what I gotta do to find it now. Okay, go to...
Oh, please. My codependent dog is freaking out.
Oh, no. Over what?
It's just where I'm not in my room where I'm supposed to be, and she just wants to be on me. 60-pound lap dog.
Wow.
The dog that I paid the neighbor kid to steal for me.
Oh, I remember that story. That's fucking crazy. Okay, let's look up the word Swedish. So, playing games or anything? I love games.
No, I don't. I'm not a gamer whatsoever. I'll play Uno.
Uno. Okay, well, on the weekends, I play War Thunder. It's a multi-platform game, first-person shooter. We're in tanks and stuff like that. And I'm in a squadron called OTG. It's the old tank guys. And, we have an event every Saturday for charity. We get together and we'll do stuff. But I'll have to look at the deal on the chair. Actually, he talks about it in here, I think. It's for this... something to Cocker Spaniels. Let me try to find it. I promised these guys I would do this because they helped me out. I know it's in the description of this video right here. Let me just pull that up real quick for everybody. But yeah, it's some rescue, pet rescue thing that they do. I like board games and Nintendo. What's with you and Nintendo Switch, Meg?
I like original Nintendo. And I mean, my son is a total gamer. So, like, right across from me, I have a whole setup to stream. We have a laptop, we have a computer, I have a mic over there, I have a green screen, I have a chair. But my 14-year-old is there 24/7. But ideally, I want to learn from you some and then be able to sit over there and do my own streaming like you're doing, where I can pull shit up, you know what I mean? And I've got the green screen behind me and I can actually stream. So that's my goal. It's only taken me a fucking year to get this far, but at least I'm still, you know, we're making progress. I've got everything over there. I am not a technical person whatsoever. I hate computers. I'm the talent. I am not the tech. So
yeah, I played this one game, Demonologist, and Isabel was watching.
I see. I click on there and watch a lot.
Ooh. God, I'll tell you, the last few days have been rough. There's like 30 different ghosts, and you have to profile them. They're all different, and it says at the front of the game when you go in there, you know, you got what, you know, you got a headset on, stuff like that. Well, the ghosts it's all interactive, and they will react to that. So, in fact, there's a ghost in there that doesn't like any cuss words, and they'll come after you. So it's a jump scare game. It will scare the crap out of you. Anyway, War Thunder. Back to that. Okay, Old Tank guys. You can find them on Twitch. We do this event for the Emerald Coast Golden Retriever Rescue. ECGRR rescues golden retrievers and other dogs, provides rescue dogs with needed medical training, and other attention. Then they locates and screens prospective foster and permanent homes, attends dog events for fundraising and volunteer recruitment opportunities. So that's what we do on the weekend. So this particular weekend, I was the star of the show on this one. We were having a race. So everybody does, they jump in their tanks. They get into the light tanks. They're smaller, hardly no armor, but they're fast. I spawn in the big heavy tank for notorious reasons, of course. So here we go.
Are we just racing, or do we have to shoot at things?
Well, you can shoot at things.
Well, you can, yes.
Very unsportsmanlike.
Yeah. There we go. There's our ready line. Okay. And it's 6 seconds.
That's me right
Go
there.
for the yellow
in
stuff.
The back right there, looking at everybody. For the race, our weapons don't work.
Nope, no names.
No names? Oh, bummer.
No.
I'm sorry, I apologize.
But I do have smoke grenades out the ass that I'm going to use.
Boy, that backfired, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, what do you think this is, the freeway?
Well, for names there, Anunnaki's like leading the whole thing. He's on his way.
He's always leading it.
He is. The rest of you are, wow, that's a mess.
That's fucking iron tip.
Yeah. Anunnaki's going along. Hair farmer, you're back to Bassett to Iceman there.
That's concrete.
Iceman, you're a little slow.
Yeah, I know.
That's all right.
Did he bring a heavy tank?
Yeah, I think you did. Panzer CM, you're doing good. And for those that are cheating on Twitch, you'll be able to see everybody's name. So, Spy OT. Oh, interesting choice at R3. Keep that. You may want to keep your speed down with that little puppy there. So, El Moron,
there we are. Around here.
I was just, just for the views. Just for the views.
Okay, Anunnaki's coming back up again. He's gonna. He might reclaim his thing.
He might.
Let's take a look at. I'm kind of curious to see what Iceman's up to still. So.
Jeez, I'm 2 minutes and 12 seconds back.
Okay.
See what I'm doing?
Save me a seat, you guys.
Yeah.
We will. We just might eat everything.
Yeah.
Blocking the road.
Alrighty.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Yeah. Now we can sort of.
Can't do that with a light tank.
Who's me?
I have no idea. Skittles. Skittles is a little low. Yeah, he's a little low on volume. So. Could be interesting here. Who we got? We got El Moron coming up on Iceman. Somewhere there. No?
Oh yeah. Eventually. Am I the last one out?
No, we still got some people coming in here. So we have the only one that's finished is Spy, and there we go. Anunnaki brought up number 2, and when we got a little state of confusion here.
Beats misery.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah, little problem here.
Oh freaking dear.
Let's see here. Oh. Hello, Panzer. Say hello to Iceman. Jesus. Didn't see that train there, did you?
I think it's a truck, but yes.
Actually, it's a trolley. He moved all the trolleys.
That's basically the
He moved all the
If I can find some way of fucking things up for everybody.
Hey, Caleb, good luck to you.
But that's what we do on the weekends. Like I said, it's for charity for all the dogs. I know they need a lot of help right now because of the hurricane and all the weather that we've had. So that's pretty much it.
So do you just pay a little bit of money to be in the tournament or the little thing, and then that goes to the dogs?
No, not if you're in the squadron. You don't. No, we don't pay any money. But we did it all for charity, and there's usually a link in there when we do this on Saturdays at 2:00 Central, or is it Eastern? I don't know. I just forgot. I just went full retard.
My son might be interested in doing that. He
It's
loves that kind of stuff, and he did a ghost hunting game too. So I need to tell him about yours.
I would. I actually talked to somebody last night that I might have a chance to play. You know who Heather Lynn is? She's with Black Rifle Coffee Company. She does a lot of videos. She's a nutcase.
It sounds familiar, but now I can't place
yeah,
it.
hell, she does a lot of videos. A lot of them are funny as hell. She gets with all these other models and stuff, and they get in their bikinis and they go noodling. I'm like, I've done that once or twice, and I'm like, they do it a lot. I'm like, I ain't getting in there and sticking my hand down in there again. Have you ever gone noodling? It's not for the faint of heart.
I think it's pretty fucking badass. I used to catch crawdads in the creek all the time.
That are
I know.
Them out of there. I'm like,
if I was strong enough, I would do it. That's a thrill, man.
It is. I just don't have the legs for it anymore. I would get sick.
Yeah, them little girls are like 5 feet tall, pulling out this big ass catfish that's as tall as them. I've seen it. It's badass.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I want to go like bow fishing. That's the one thing I haven't done yet. Where you take a bow and hunt a fish. I mean, like that's on my bucket list.
It's funny how things change. I remember being a kid, in high school. Deer season, it's normal to see vehicles out in the parking lot. We'd have shotguns and rifles in the vehicles. As soon as nobody, we'd have fights and stuff, but I can't even think of a single time anybody would ever think about going out there and doing shit that the kids do these days. So the school's out there, and boom, they take off to go deer hunting or something. So it's just funny how culture has changed so much. And it seems like a lot of people these days.
Yeah, I went to a hick school.
Yeah, I hated it.
We had a tractor day.
Oh my god. Oh shit.
You didn't have a tractor day where everybody drove your tractor to school?
No, we had what was it the 4-H club or whatever. Out there showing their hogs. Winning blue ribbon and shit like that. Cue the banjo music. God. Oh, funny thing though about this town. I shit you not. At the time I was in high school there, we had 2 cops. Bob and Neil. I shit you not, that was their names. We used to give them shit. Hey, which one is Bob? Which one is Neil? And they're like, okay, yeah, you just wait. We'll pull you over eventually for something stupid. And they would. It would suck. But it was something else. Bob Brown was kind of like Roscoe, and Neil Lockhart, really, he was a prick. He was the chief of police, and God, it was funny. One night they got a call. Somebody's cow got out and was on the highway, and they had got a brand new cruiser. So he's driving down the highway, and he's shining that little side spotlight out there in the field. Hey, dumbass! They said the cow got out and is on the highway. What happens? Back! We're having meatloaf tomorrow night, and they're having to buy a brand new cop car because it was totaled. What a dumbass! God. But yeah, they were.
That happens out here a lot. There's cows all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Like that's a legit thing.
When I worked, I traveled all over the U.S., drove a lot of it. And I tell you what, some of those states where they're really heavy on gun laws, like New York was one of them, man.
Illinois.
I don't remember too much about Illinois. I've been there quite.
Yeah, you can't have one.
You can't. That sucks. But I know these places, man. I've never seen so many dead deer on the road, on the side of the road and shit, man. It's just insane. And a lot of people don't understand.
I live about 40 minutes from the Illinois state line, and we have a giant gun store called Top Guns. It's fucking massive. It's like a mall.
Wow.
But it's because, Illinois people, you can have them, but I don't think you can buy them there. Or there's the restrictions. I'm not going to say because I don't know, but I just know that everybody complains and everybody comes over to Top Gun from Illinois to get their guns. So
Yeah, I remember going through there for work, and I'm trying to remember how this worked out. I think there was a college there in Indiana. It never failed. It was like 2 or 3 years in a row this happened. I've got to work there in Indiana, and I'd have to go over to Illinois and stay and stuff, and then I'd have to be in Illinois, and I'd have to go stay in Indiana for it was something else I can't remember, but I know yeah, it gets pretty crazy out there. I went there to the Speedway for the time trials. I know we were talking about that one night. The Indianapolis 500. That shit's crazy. I was out there trying to I was out there like a regular digital camera. You gotta push the button and you wait for it. You gotta wait for it, and you can't hardly get any pictures of those cars on that track when that.
No, you can't. You try, but you can't. No. I grew up at that track.
Really?
I've been going to the Indy 500 my whole life. When I was young, my dad would take us to the qualifications, and then when I was a teenager, you go down. Yeah, and then as a teenager, you go to the 16th Street party, which is outside of the track, which it's Speedway. The Indianapolis Speedway is in a town called Speedway, and there's a Speedway gas station in Speedway by the Speedway. And that Speedway gas station is the hub of the night before the Indy 500. The entire area for miles and miles is a street party. Huge street party.
Yeah, I've
so
seen
much
that.
fucking fun.
That. And then the day of the
and
race.
then you go to Carb Day,
people
there's Carb Day, which it's party, and you go to Carb Day. That was all about partying. But then when I became I was a promo girl. I was a brand ambassador / promo model in my 20s. So I would just be one of those girls that just hands out free shit to people, and I would work at the track. I've done multiple campaigns at the track. So I've been in the pits. I've been in the garages. I've been there before the race, after the race. I am so... I take it for granted because I grew up there and because I was at work, but I've been in places of that track that people would kill to, pay huge money to go experience what I've experienced at the track.
I thought it was funny because everybody on that strip
it's so
there,
big.
They got hey, park here, $10, park in my front yard for the race and shit.
Yeah, it's the entire. It's such a big deal. It's such a vibe, and everybody's partying everywhere. And I would get off work at the track, and then I would just party my way to my car, literally grabbing a beer here, hitting a bowl here, grabbing a hot dog here. You just make friends all the way down, and just it's a great fucking time.
Yeah, it is. What a sauce of that.
I miss it
a lot of times because hey, at least you did the right thing, man. The worst thing you can do with a deer is try to swerve and miss it, because chances are you're probably gonna roll if you're going fast enough, man. Deer on the roads just plumb out dangerous. I've had a lot of friends just total their cars. We get a lot of it out here too. So yeah.
Oh yeah, we've got a whole family out in our field.
Oh yeah.
They ate my garden. I don't really like them.
Oh God. We'd drive by the airport out here, and you'd hear all the noise and pollution and stuff. No, they love it there because they know, hey, you can't get us while we're over here because the government property, asshole. Damn. And we'd see just a big old group of them. God damn, you don't even have, if you had a rifle, the only thing I'd do is just pull the trigger. You don't even have to aim. There would be so many of them right there. It's nuts.
Mm-hmm. No, every night, in the fall, when I go to take care of the donkeys in the evening, there's anywhere from 6 to 10 deer, big whitetail deer, just in our back field, just eating too. And I can get within probably 20 feet of them, and then they'll start huffing and they'll start like pounding their foot or whatever. But I mean, yeah, they're beautiful, but they can be dangerous. They're assholes.
Yeah, they can be dangerous.
Oh yeah, no, they're funny. They will literally like huff and growl at you. It's
Yeah.
fucking funny.
Yeah, heaven forbid though if they ever charge at you or anything. But have you seen any of the videos where like one will like break into a store or something like that, and they cannot walk on that
Get
tile
stuck.
floor and stuff. And they just end up like probably just going in and grab a 6-pack of beer and out. But man, on that floor they're falling into, they're tripping out, and next thing you know they've demolished the whole entire store just trying to get the 6-pack. What's that deal?
They'll
There?
fuck some
Those
shit up.
deer that have. There's a lot of them I've seen out there. Picture them that they have those like big old black looking tumors on them and stuff. You ever seen that shit?
Yes, but I can't recall. But yeah, it is a thing, and that's part of why they do deer roundups, because they have to kill a bunch of the deer so that that doesn't.
They're just like vermin. They get out of control, and it's not good. Because that's when that.
Where I live,
go ahead.
I live extremely rural. They're everywhere around here. I mean, you almost see a deer every day around here.
Yeah.
Probably. It's rare that I don't see a deer. So, but that'll stop here in about a month or two. And then they kind of hide out more in the spring and the summer, and then back in the fall and the winter they're around constantly. So.
Cool, man.
Good eating though. That's why I said I'm not against hunting.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's what we do, man. We'd sit there and spend like an entire year hunting and fishing, and we'd have like a big old cookout. You know, fucking everything from catfish to crappie, deer, rattlesnake, pheasant, quail, squirrel's good. Hate duck. Duck's just nasty tasting, I think. But I love squirrel and quail and stuff. Just cleaning them's a bitch, man. Trying to get all that buckshot out of them and stuff. Missed one.
yeah, I haven't done any of that.
Frog legs.
I can. I'm more of a. Yeah, I love fishing. I was, I guess, one of the last tomboys. Now you're not allowed to be a tomboy. Now you're just a boy.
What the fuck? It's like that actress. Everybody thought she was hot at the time. Megan Fox. She's got 3 kids. You know, sit there and sitting there parading around in dresses. I'm sorry, a 2-year-old doesn't know shit about that trans shit. So don't.
And there's no way she would be 3 for 3.
Yeah, exactly. And that's all. It's all on mom too. I guarantee that's what it is. That's just, God, that's insane.
It's the psychosis of the parent. And okay, so here's the other thing. The furries, right?
Oh,
I finally came across. I found one in real life. It's a guy who I know's daughter. She's now like 20 years old. I've watched this girl grow up. And she used to be gorgeous. She grew up with a mom who, God, how do I explain the mom? Narcissistic and self-centered.
There you go.
The dad is a druggie. The dad's a total druggie. But not like but he's like a psychedelic druggie. And now all of a sudden her name's Jadelyn. Now she's a fucking furry. And it's like that child did not have enough attention. That child did not have enough care, time, attention. And now she's screaming for it because both of her parents were too busy doing other fucking things. And it's like I can see the psychology because I know both of her parents and then I know her. And it's like, wow, I finally found one. And I can pretty much say, you know, because I used to do intake and assessment for a living. I'm pretty good at doing assessments. And it was like, yeah, like that's a clear case of screaming for attention, as simple and basic as that is. And it's like, there you go, you know, like there's the case study. I have one myself. Like it's just attention seeking behavior. So, and I kind of think same way with like Megan Fox. It's attention seeking. My kids are special.
Well, you know, a lot of Hollywood's left, and that's just, I don't get it. I just don't get it. And really, I really get pissed off at that shit, man. Leave the fucking kids alone. You know, the drag queen thing. When you got people from the LGBT community saying, "Hey, don't be taking your kids to this shit." No,
the actual drag queens are like, don't bring them.
Some of them
like,
are.
yeah, it's ridiculous. They're like, I don't want to perform in front of your kid. It's a bar. What are you doing?
Yeah, well, that's what pissed me off. The first time I saw that shit was on Good Morning America. They had that kid on there, like 10. I think his name's Desmond, but he went by. I can't.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
One second they showed him with the drag queen sitting on couch. He's snorting, supposedly snorting carotene off of his hand or something like that, and he's so brave, people. Oh, fuck you. And then they showed another
segment. That's one of the things I got in Facebook jail for.
Yeah, and then another segment, they showed him shaking his ass in a thong in a fucking bar in New York City, a bunch of dirty old men with dollars in there. It's a bar. You're not supposed to be in there. What the fuck? That somebody needs to just take the mom out or something like that. That's just too much.
That's the hypocrisy, because that Desmond on that stage is one of the things that I shared on Facebook that I got from Facebook, and then I got thrown in Facebook jail for it. And I was like, well, you're a fucking hypocrite. Like, yeah, you're right. Yeah. This isn't right. But
exactly.
What the fuck? You're busting me? Like, it's so stupid. But yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
They're everywhere. I'm like, no, this something's not right here. Just leave the kids on. Well, no, we don't do that to kids. The hell you fucking don't. I even found out Texas, of all places, it happens down there too. The fuck, man. And I saw a video just the other day. Somebody that had just made the news over this shit that I think he or she, or where the fuck they are, is suing that hospital there in Los Angeles that's supposed to be like the epicenter of that shit. Because she said, when it's mental health, it's, whatever happened to, learning to love yourself for who you are and stuff. You can't do that, don't expect
to work through emotions.
Yeah, but they don't.
Emotional intelligence is not taught anymore. You are not taught how to react to things, how to properly work. Okay, this was a bad experience, but you got through it, and what did you learn from it? And there's none of that anymore.
Yeah, and
it's just react.
They're supposed to be getting, before they do that to any of these kids, they're supposed to be, or anybody for that matter, they're supposed to be giving them, some psychiatric guidance, and they're not doing it. They're sitting there, here's a prescription, go to the hospital, get your wiener cut off. That's pretty much why she's suing them. That's what happened. She didn't get any kind of psychological help in this shit. And gender dysphoria, I mean, you know more about stuff than I do. Any kind of a dysphoria is a mental health condition. Since when did we start lobbing body parts off over a mental condition? And, I mean, the whole thing began...
Or validating, it's like, you don't validate your illness or your mental illness or your condition. You fix it. Like, you want to make it better. This whole validating is like, that's stupid. It's like, that's not making anything better.
Yeah.
Like validating a bipolar person, but not medicating them. That doesn't work.
Yeah. And they're willing to go that far and all that stuff. Yeah, I think they call him like the forefather of all that stuff. I think his name was Dr. John Money or something like that.
Sounds right.
The twins. One of them, they were getting circumcised and had an accident. And
fucked up.
Yeah, and so his solution to it, and he talked to parents, we're going to whack it off. And that's what they did. And now they're figuring out, as a small infant and toddler or anything, you'll be able to raise them as a girl now. And no, guess what? It did not work out. and he did horrible things to these two kids, and I think they both committed suicide over it. There, you can find, like they were on Oprah at one time, back in the 80s or 90s. Yeah, it didn't go well for either one of them. But, yeah, he was doing, some pretty nasty shit with these two twins, trying to force...
Like that Joseph Mengele. It's like the modern day Joseph Mengele shit.
Who's that?
Dude, he was the Nazi, I think the Nazi doctor that did all the experiments on the kids.
Yeah, I mean, that's where
Dr. Mengele, he was...
Yeah. Man, what the...
Yep, they brought him over here.
Yeah. Damn. And that's what gets me about
This is not
like
my
that one
cat.
video, but they expect us to accept these people. I mean, no, we're not gonna do it. It's just bullshit.
Somebody's demanding attention.
I'm surprised mine hasn't. Oh god, I probably just jinxed it. No, he's asleep.
This isn't even my cat.
That's funny. Kitty.
This was my mom passed away in May of 2021, and this was her cat. So
was it? Oh. What's on your shirt? Is that a Ghostbuster shirt?
Yep.
Nice.
It's my Ghostbusters. On the back it says, "Who you gonna call?"
Awesome. I love that movie. I think I got them all except for that one. Man, that's...
I was such a nerd. When I was little, my favorite was the Ghostbusters soundtrack. I had the cassette tape. So I was like 5 years old, like literally like singing, like, I ain't afraid of no ghosts. And like literally on like a medium and shit.
Yeah, that's funny. Remember back
it's a banger. It's a banger.
You remember the cartoon back in the day? There was two.
With Slimer?
Remember there was two of them. The one Slimer, the original, it was called the Real Ghostbusters. And there was another one called the Ghostbusters. It was stupid. They were driving around like a Model T car or something like that, and there was a talking gorilla with them and stuff. And I found out one day that they are actually the original Ghostbusters. It was a trip. It goes back to a series, maybe last one season back in like 60s or early 70s with the two guys that were always doing stuff together from F Troop. Was it Larry Storch or something like that? And the other guy.
I didn't care for F Troop. That was a little before my time.
Yeah, it was. It was crazy. And they had somebody dressed up as a talking gorilla in that game. That's like in that series. It's like 60s or 70s or something. I can't remember. And I was like, holy shit. Stupid. It didn't last very long though. But yeah, can't beat the real Ghostbusters. So man, that was the shit. I love that movie. Bill Murray's just, I was a big fan of him. And Dan Aykroyd, and did you see the new ones?
I haven't. I want to see the one with Melissa McCartney in it, but no, I've not seen them because I'm afraid it'll piss me off.
It will.
See, that's why I haven't watched it.
It's like, especially that.
I'm an original classic Ghostbusters fan.
It was absolutely horrible. I couldn't even finish it. It was that bad. I mean, it's bad enough they put out, when the new ones came out, and they put out that special gift pack. It wasn't in there, thank God. But Afterlife, you definitely want to watch that, because the way they paid homage to Harold Ramis after he was gone was just, it was awesome. It was really messed up too, because it's all CGI and stuff, but they had there was actually an actor there for it. It was the original director, Reitman. His son was directing it, and he modeled for the Harold Ramis part in there. And after the movie came out, he passed away. So it was a bittersweet thing right there. It was really awesome to see, especially when they're all together once again. Finally, it's like, wow, what's that here? That's fine. Yes, that is right, Meg. That is why they changed it to the real Ghostbusters on there. It's so funny growing up. I remember, I didn't know anything about that. Would remember stuff that was just off the wall shit. I remember it was called the Monster Squad, and it was another series with this kid. I guess he's a college kid, and he works in a museum at night, and Dracula and Frankenstein and Wolfman, they come to life, and they're crime fighters. And I'm like, I remembered that. I don't know how in the fuck I remembered that. I mean, that's some obscure shit right there.
Yeah, I don't know about it.
Yeah, it's better you didn't. It was horrible. TV was just horrible back then. It really was. So, how long have we been on?
I was watching like Green Acres and stuff. I lived the my three sons and all that shit.
Petticoat Junction. We know why all the boys were watching that show. I remember, I was raised by my grandparents, so yeah, I remember Hee Haw. That was
yeah.
Hee Haw and then Lawrence Welk. Oh my God.
My grandma loved Lawrence Welk. You can't hate on Lawrence Welk.
I can behind.
But yeah, and Red Skelton.
Yes.
Red Skelton is from Indiana.
She was
a big Red Skelton fan.
I grew up on all the old school stuff like Tom and Jerry, Woody Woodpecker, Chilly Willy, Abbott and Costello, Three Stooges. I loved all that stuff back then. And I was as weird as a kid.
Gilligan's Island and
Flipper. Grizzly Adams. There's one. Oh, BJ and the Bear. And then the spinoff, Sheriff Lobo. I loved that. That show was fucking hilarious. I don't care who you are. But I remember I was a weird kid. On Saturdays, I would get up, watch Saturday morning cartoons, and as soon as that's over, I'm sitting there on PBS watching, Victory at Sea, where they had all that old World War II stuff going. I loved that show. That was weird. I was the only child. Lawrence Welk rules polka.
I'm the oldest.
Really?
So yeah, I'm the oldest. Polka. It's funny because the grandma that I just mentioned, she married a electronic organ band player, and so I got to whenever we would go, he had a huge pipe organ with all the 1,000 little buttons and stuff. I got to play on one of those as a kid. It was so fun. But it's funny because I'm like, my grandma, her second husband was a band guy. He was a musician, and they had their own band and their little tapes and stuff. And I've dated a few musicians, and I'm like, I got it from my grandma.
Yeah, but musicians, that's just we're a misunderstood bunch of people, to be honest with you. Everybody thinks so. Especially with long hair and tattoos, they're like, oh yeah, we know what kind of person you are. No, you don't actually. Yeah.
No, man. I love rockers. I mean, however you want to call it, band. I mean, just people. You're fun. You're there to have a good time. You're creative, intelligent, and there to have a good time. What can you not get along with that? So
yeah. Well,
I had a shirt that said "Support the arts, sleep with the musician."
That's funny. And there's a lot of beneficial stuff. Especially with Alzheimer's and dementia. They found out people that were musicians, they're able to recall stuff a hell of a lot better and hang in there a lot longer. Because I heard the I don't know what kind of test it was, but they're able to see the synaptics or whatever inside the human brain. And with musicians, with what we do and stuff like that, that is supposed to be like the most you can give your melon a workout. It's the most strenuous stuff you do, and they found out it literally rewires your brain. So, and it doesn't necessarily mean we're smarter, or at least some of us aren't. Some of them are just complete idiots in some of the shit they do. But, I got a few friends that are just, they make me sick. They like, I can play guitar, I can play your bass, drums, keyboard. One guy, I've watched him play 2 saxophones at once. I mean, it's like, if it's an instrument, they can play it. It's just like, wow. I'm like totally blown away.
Yeah, that shit blows me away.
Yeah.
I love it. The only thing I can play is the radio. So, I have no talent. I did violin in 7th grade and I was last chair and I quit during the semester break. I was like, fuck this. Like, I am not a violinist.
I love
being in that last chair. That was rough.
Yeah, I tell you what though, man. I mean, being up on stage doing that shit was just like it helped me out a lot of stuff. Cause well, somebody told me something funny about one day. I'm trying to remember how this went. A lot of us will develop a personality to help us deal with stuff, and that personality is usually the musician part of us. And I'm not this kind of person. I'm surprised I've been sitting there running my mouth off for as long as I have on here. I'm really quiet. I'm try not to have people notice I'm around. I'm really shy. I just don't like being around people, especially big crowds, and a lot of anxiety and stuff when I get around that. But when I was up on stage, it's like, boom, I'm a totally different person. And this person only one day, no, that person that's up on stage is the real you. And I was like, it made me think about it differently. Kind of like during the Marvel movies, like the Hulk, at one point, it's David Banner and alter ego is Hulk, and later on movies it actually turned the other way, where the Hulk was the character, David Banner was the ego. So it was pretty cool the way he put that to me. But it was fun. I had a great time doing it. I'm going to try. I've got a band, Miley Virus. I'm going to try to put them back together sometime this year and get back out there and play some more. Because it was fun. What's this here?
Do you have any of your music anywhere to share?
I've got on my page. My actual music. It's hard to find because copyright. I don't have copyrights on them, and I try to keep that to myself so things don't happen. But on this page, I've got a lot of cover songs that I've just sit here and play just to keep up with everything. And actually, the way music is, it's weird. Some people look at people in the cover bands and you're not a real musician. I'm like, fuck you, we are too. Hey, if your bass player broke his leg and you called me up, and hey, we need you to come fill in and stuff. Hey, guess what? I'm still doing the cover band shit. I'm playing somebody else's fucking music. So, I
don't think that matters at all.
It shouldn't matter. And what's funny is, there's places, cover bands can't play at because, sometimes the owner doesn't want to pay that fucking high-ass ASCAP fee, which is ridiculous. These bars that have those jukeboxes in it, they've got to pay an ASCAP fee because, the record's in there. But that music, people, they owe royalties on it. If you're playing that stuff in there, then yeah. But here's the deal, with original music, if you want to make it big someday, that's the route you got to take. But very few people make that. It's a really hard thing to do because, you got those bars and you go in there and you're going to be playing a set for like an hour. And there's going to be other bands, and you've all got to split money. You're not going to hardly make shit. I can make more money in a cover band because there's more places to play, and we can go in there, maybe have an opening act, but we can sit there and play all night and make some decent money.
That's what I mean in the bars. That's what they were. They were cover bands. I mean, we had like Spanky's Clubhouse. Like nobody's gonna know these names, but the bands that you went and saw, they were cover bands. Like they just rocked out. They rocked out of the best songs, and you knew this band was more hard rock. This band did maybe some classics or some oldies. This band put on more of a performance. This band but they're all cover bands. I never wanted to go see a band that did their own music because I wouldn't know any of it. I would hate it.
Yeah, there's bars and clubs out there that want that instead of the others because, they go in there, they might have a small following with them, but no, they want the place packed and they want people out there getting drunk and out on the dance floor. Nobody's going to get on the dance floor and dance around the music that they've never even heard of. And
we had our favorite band, like his name was Crambone, and they did covers, but they put on a show. Like literally, they were performers. When he was the lead singer, and he would take a giant box and take a chainsaw with the blade off and cut through the box to make his entrance, or he would come down from the rafters.
Jesse James Dupree from Jackal, but he left the blade on the damn thing most of the damn time.
Well, Jeff got him hurt. He hurt his leg one time, and he had to stop fucking doing it. But on New Year's Eve, he took a leaf blower and he stuck a roll of toilet paper to it, and he was walking around toilet paper and people because it was on a leaf blower, so it toilet paper the shit out of you. It was awesome. It was like a gun. And I was behind the bar. And it was New Year's Eve, and I mean, it's miserable. And he looked, and he's like, "You want me to?" And I was like, "Yep." And I just put my arms out, and I spun around in circles, and I got toilet papered from head to toe like a fucking mummy. And then the toilet, it got up in the ceiling fan, and it started making the ceiling fan rattle, and my irrational fear is being chopped to death by a falling ceiling fan. And so I had no idea that it was doing that, and my co-bartender did not know my fear, but she grabbed me and moved me and pulled me away and showed me and looked up, and she's like, "Oh," and I was like, "You didn't even know that that's my biggest fear." I was like, "I love you so much." Anyways, it was a whole experience, and it was fun, and I almost died because the ceiling fan almost chopped me to death, but.
I
love rockers, man. Bands are fun, so
yeah, and I play everything from classical, actual classical music. Yeah, I was doing that for a bass solo for a while. It was Toccata and Fugue in D minor from Johann Sebastian Bach. Yeah, the whole the creepy pipe organ music around Halloween. That's what I was doing. But I love classical. But I play even classical rock to up to newer stuff, like Kill Switch Engage or Bullet for My Valentine. I mean, I play it all. Love it. I can do this without risking having to fucking so with my what the hell? What's that?
Do you hear that? It's my dog's hold on.
So
that's what it is.
So since it's a play on Miley Cyrus, here we go. I'm just gonna do it anyway. We have our own Wrecking Ball. This is at this bar up here called the Porthole. It's closed now, but we were there for bike night. That's my rig with the lights on the inside. Oops, sorry. basically the gist of that. I was always got there. The sound guys like, you need to turn your fucking bass down because we got you turned all the way down the soundboard and you're blowing everybody out. Well, hey, it's been 2 hours. You want to wrap it up?
I got a dog that needs out, and I need to go jump in the shower. So
be careful, you'll slip and fall doing that.
I could slip and fall doing that. I don't have the best footing.
Hopefully, next week, want to do it again? Hopefully, we'll have all the bugs worked out by then. Sweet.
Yeah, I don't mind at all. Try to get some kind of routine going on and try to get some numbers up, and absolutely.
Yeah, I mean,
I could talk to you forever. Like, obviously, we've been going for quite a while.
Yeah, and I'm not that kind of person. I'm like, oh wow, I've been talking for a long time. Yeah, it's not easy to get into that kind of comfortability with somebody. So yeah, I would definitely want to do this again. And
awesome, cool.
Hopefully, I'll have all the bugs worked out by then, and I can. I want to get some of these other people on here too, like Saw and Push-Ups. So, I mean,
yeah, we need to get to know everybody.
Yes,
get everybody out to do a little get to know me expose kind of thing.
Exactly.
Build our community.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, man. It's for the community. We see you guys. That's all we ever see of each other is just right.
I mean, you guys, YouTube people. I've become friends with you guys. I mean, literal. Like me,
it's like family,
Like Meg is the best. Like she sent me this little kitty thing. She sent me birthday presents and Christmas stuff. She's the sweetest thing. Sam sent me all kinds of amazing freaking German cookies and the everything that Christy and Courtney got. Like I got all that goodies too. I mean, I'm usually the giver. Like I'm usually the person who is tending to other people. So for others to show me like that is just like, I'm super grateful, and I couldn't be happier to make friends with all of you guys.
Yeah, I think most of this started with Keanu, if I believe so. So
I think I do like this guy.
I remember my first interaction with Gino. Hear about with Keanu and stuff. So I just happened to catch him on the weekend once. He was doing his little jump rope thing. And, you've seen how he does some people, the Dabbleverse idiots that come on the show and shit. Our first interaction, boom, he doesn't know who in the hell I even am. $5 super chat for his jump rope. If you sing Barbie Girl, what did Gino do? He didn't boot me. No, he actually jumped rope and was singing Barbie Girl the whole time. I was like, I like him. I don't care what all these assholes are saying about. I love Gino. I love Keanu.
I do
love
too.
all you guys, man.
I do too. You
guys are great, man. You make this week more tolerable. Except you, Meg. You need to step it up a bit, okay?
Meg's our silent supporter. But no, I miss Gene. I need to get on Rumble and I need to get on Twitter, but I don't like computers. But I miss Gino. Like I miss Gino's show.
Yeah, he's it's crazy. It really is. You miss Gene.
Keanu, I think she's gonna stream in about an hour. So.
Is she? Then we need.
I think she's gonna do it at midnight.
Okay, so I guess she didn't see it her last night. I sent it into the chat. I'm like, are you texting Wednesday night? 'Cause I was trying to make adjustments through everything. But yeah, I love all these. Even Zia. Zia's nuts. I've never seen.
I like Zia.
I love Zia. She's squirrely as hell, but I've never seen anybody work chat with that many people the way she does. I mean, she's awesome with that. I mean, she damn near interacts with each and every person, and it's crazy. And
that, I mean, and I like that. That's when I would like to be able to have that set up over there, because that's what I want to do too, is be able to have that community part of it. It's like the bullshitting back and forth and getting to know each other. Yeah, no, Zia does great. Camelot's good too, and that's who she learned from. So
yeah, and I think I was the first one to do it after Zia got demonetized. She's going through StreamYards, and it does that text to voice thing. But it won't do cuss words or anything vulgar. And I'm like, hold my beer. And sure enough, man, next thing you know, she's telling dildo jokes all of a sudden. And I go in there with this, it's my superhero alter ego, Girthquake and stuff. And then there's the Slovakian traffic cone. And that's as far as I'm going with that. If you want to know what it is, look it up yourself if you dare. And trust me, you're not going to want to look it up. Step one. And yeah, it's a long process of some most disgusting ass shit. But Blue Waffle doesn't have nothing on it. I'll tell you that right now. But
well,
all right.
Speaking of that, you mentioned real quick that we were gonna for this one do like confessionals or something. So you could say that for next week. If anybody wants to call in with a confession, then we could do that. So yeah, he's gonna show you his little surprise here. And then I can try to have headgear for next week too.
I'm at the poop. Hey, I've got robe and everything too.
So if anybody needs to confess anything next Wednesday, you can call and confess to Chris and I. And
now, I'm not the
I'm
Pope,
ordained.
I'm the Pope. Yeah, and she's ordained. And
it's legal. You'll be fine. I can bless you, or we'll say like 5 Hail Marys or 3 Ray of Lights or something, and then you'll be all right.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna get out of here. This was fun.
Love you guys, and we'll see you next time.
Bye guys.